Hello, 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 everyone! Alright, it's my first time going live to both YouTube and Twitch, so I'm hoping for minimal scuff. Twitch scares me a little bit, just because I've not used it that much before. I'm not that familiar with the interface, to be honest, so I'm kind of learning as I go. But today, we're just going to be chilling, just going to be playing a little bit of Mario Kart. I'm also using a new software called Restream, well, the software's not new, it's new to me though. Restream, I've seen some other people use this, and yeah, it's just, I mean, you could see it in the chat box too, that it says Restream. It's kind of just, so I can go live in two places at once. I'm not super familiar with that interface yet either. There may be some delay with how the chat shows also, but I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, so just a teeny little bit of Mario Kart today. Since there's the new courses and whatnot, I thought I would give it a go. I'm pretty competitive when it comes to Mario Kart, just because. Okay, also I haven't played on this account that much, so I'm gonna have no trophies. Okay, I'm a little bit competitive when it comes to Mario Kart, because it's like the one thing that my family and I always agree on to play. Like, I mean, like literally all the time. Like, if we need something to play, we're gonna turn to Mario Kart. So I've grown up being a little teeny bit competitive, honestly, just like with this game in particular. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. Ooh, okay, so I kind of have this, kind of already have my usual cart and stuff set up here. Yeah. Okay, alright, one sec, guys. Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna have to look into seeing if I can. Okay, alright, there we go. That went away. Oh, it's going away on Twitch. Alright, I'm gonna have to see about blocking bots on Twitch. I'm still like I said, I'm very new with that interface. Okay, alright, let's just get started playing now though. Okay, so I want to start for, what? I haven't like done any of these new ones on this account. I've played them on other accounts. Okay. Alright, so I haven't done many. But I'm gonna start with the new ones that I haven't done it at all. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna give these ones a go first. Yeah. I don't know, it's been a minute since I've played Mario Kart, honestly, because I've been like super busy with life and I haven't been with my family that like in a place where we like would all be able to play. Like, I've seen my family, but I haven't gone home in a minute to play with them, so it's been a hot minute since I've played Mario Kart like at all, so it might take me a moment to warm up. And also I chose 200cc because I'm a tryhard, but when I'm with my parents I only get to play on 150 because they didn't exactly grow up with video games like this. But it's like, it's fine, I don't mind, but I've gotten just a little bit lax with how I play because 200cc is literally so much harder than 150, and I don't know why it's that much worse. Also, I'm a wimp and I play with the guardrails. But I just want to come in first. When I'm playing with my siblings, I so rarely win. Like, I've definitely gotten better over the years, but you know, it's just, it comes with being the youngest somehow, is I don't win Mario Kart. Oh, I'm gonna hit into that, okay. I don't know why I see it and I cannot react fast enough. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been having a pretty busy week, honestly. It's nice to just sit and play, because I haven't done that much this week, like with anything. I used to, I mean, I still do play Genshin every day. I go on and I do my daily commissions, but I've not had as much time, partly because I am focusing on streaming now, which is fine, because like I'm really happy doing this, but also I just had, I think, like an insanely busy week, IRL. I had a bunch of, social events to attend, and then also a lot of meetings. So my social battery at some points was a little bit, it was like, hey, you're kind of overworking me here. And I was like, well, you know, we're gonna have to deal. And I did, I made it. Now it's the end of the week, thankfully, so I don't really have any plans for tomorrow, actually, which is nice. I should just be able to rest up a little bit, and actually I plan on recording some things because I'm going to be taking a quick little break to go and visit my family. So I have tomorrow, I might gorilla stream sometime next week, or maybe I guess I could plan one. I could fully plan something and then do it. But I don't know if I'm actually gonna have time, because I'm gonna be focusing on having content to put up while I'm gone. So, hi Scuffs, how are you today? Oh, I'm talking about my plans for next week right now, because I only have streams this weekend, and then I'm going home for Thanksgiving, because it'll be Thanksgiving here in the States, and then I'm gonna be away from my PC. But it'll be nice and be able to see my family and stuff. I'll probably be playing more Mario Kart at home, actually. It's probably gonna be on our agenda. And I gotta, you know what, this is good practice, because I don't know if anyone else in my family will have done the new courses yet, so I'm going to have the one up on them. Because I really just, I've been so busy. I don't know what it is. I guess I just have like periods. I guess everyone has periods where they just get like suddenly very busy. I have no clue what these courses are. I have no clue where I'm going. Doing great. You're gonna go through stream? No, literally, I tell you, I didn't stream like at all this week until just now, and there were days where I was just itching to get online. I wanted to do Gorilla Suika, which I played just on YouTube, not on Twitch. It's my first time doing Twitch, so we'll see how that goes. But I did want to do Gorilla Suika sometime during the week, and I just didn't have time to, unfortunately. I had several different social events to attend, which is strange because I usually I'm a little shut-in hermit and never go out. But I actually had a bunch of different social things to do this week. I think it was good because I'll just say it, I'm addicted to my phone. I was gonna soften the blow and be like, I'm a little addicted to my phone, but I am chronically online. I'm always looking at that thing. So it was kind of good, and my friend said that to me because I was like, oh, I'm actually really, really tired, and I don't know that I'm gonna go or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. And she was like, oh, literally, don't worry, take care of yourself. And I was like, no, because I need to go and be social with actual people that aren't not just over a screen. Because I've had online friends for so many years now, and some of them are my best friends, which I absolutely love, but I do also really, really like face-to-face conversations if I'm comfortable with the person. I really like to talk face-to-face, which is, I don't know, people are always that generation, they only know how to be on their phones. And true, but that's not all I know how to do. I do like face-to-face. And it's weird because for as much as I'm on my phone, I literally hate phone calls. Texting, emailing is fine. I actually don't mind sending emails that much. I'm actually the person that people go to if they need an email checked over or if they need help figuring out what to say. I'm the person that they go to. I actually don't really get, email anxiety. I know a lot of people do. So that's, I guess, my one flex is, oh, I can send emails easily. But you know what? Honestly, not the worst skill to have. I will take it. I'll take it. Even sometimes my mom, she'll ask me, she's like, oh, hey, does this sound worded okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's good. Or sometimes I've just fully written emails for her. I'm like, oh, I'll just write it. But I mean, I love English and writing and stuff, so Like something that, not that long ago, probably like half a year ago or something, I found out that I was actually really into was creative nonfiction. And I was like, ugh, nonfiction at first. And then it turned out to be a lot of personal essays. And, well, clearly I love talking about myself because here I am. But it was a lot of fun. So I got really into that for a bit. I don't have enough time in my day. I've not had enough time in my day since I was born, I think, to do all the things that I want to do. There's like literally just an idea for a book rattling around in my brain right now that I want to write, which isn't creative nonfiction, that's just fully fiction. Okay, because like I think for a long time now I've really wanted to write a YA novel because I don't read as much as I used to. If I do, it's probably manga or fan fiction or something. But back in my day, I was one of the girlies who was going through books like 800-page books in like 2-3 days. I think once I read an 800-something page book in like a day and a half because it was like my favorite book series at the time. And I really even told one of my teachers that. This was, I think, I don't know, I was in middle school, I think. I told one of my teachers that because she saw like how thick the book I was reading was. And she was even impressed. She was like, wow. And I was like, yeah. But also to do that, I like fully didn't sleep. I stayed up reading and got like 4 hours of sleep, and that's how I did that. And I would read at recess too. If I was enjoying a book, I would read at recess, which comes, I guess, full circle to me being a hermit. I've always been a little, not a loner per se, but someone who enjoys my alone time, which is actually interesting. One of my good friends did a tarot reading for me today, and I actually asked specifically about my career, since this is very much on my mind all the time. So I asked specifically about my career, and it was interesting because I think it was like all of the major arcana, is what she called it, were all like reversed, so they were upside down when she got them out of the deck. And she said she was a novice, like she's just started doing this, but I was like, no, literally do it for me, bestie. But yeah, so all the major arcana were reversed, and one of them was like, things are gonna go well, but you're gonna like hit a bump that's going to be hard to overcome. And I think like the one after that meant that I was like going to have to isolate to solve the problem, and I'm like, that doesn't sound great, that doesn't sound amazing, to be honest. Like, it makes me a little like, I mean, hey, that's what the deck says, but honestly I feel like that's pretty true to how I am, where I don't necessarily like isolate, but if I'm struggling with something, there's a good chance that I'm just going to fully deal with it by myself for as long as I can. I'm not really going to like ask people or tell people about things until I've solved it, and then I'll tell them after the fact. I'll be like, LOL, this crazy thing happened, and then they're like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, it's good now, I solved it. But it'll take me some time, and during those periods I do tend to like, I pull back a little bit where it's like I just need to focus on what I'm doing to fix it, and then I come out of it. So honestly, for the reading, I do think that makes a lot of sense for me, because that is kind of, I know how I am. Like I don't want to say I psychoanalyze myself, but I psychoanalyze myself like all the time. I get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and I'm just sitting on the toilet psychoanalyzing myself for no apparent reason. So despite her being like, oh, I'm a newbie and whatever, I think she probably did an accurate reading, and she'd said she'd been getting accurate things so far. So we'll see, but so supposedly I'm gonna have great success for a little bit, and even like when it gets tough, it may not necessarily be like not success, but it may just be like a creative burnout, or it may be me not feeling satisfied exactly with it anymore. But at the same time, it was just, I very generally said like, career, will I be successful? And so that's, I guess, what, like, I don't really know that much about tarot reading other than, I guess, the general stuff. Yeah. but I don't know. She was saying it was going to be pretty accurate, and or that it had been pretty accurate so far. So I don't know, but I did just ask about career specifically, and I am kind of in a place where I want to make this my full-time career, but also I know this is going to be a long time coming, obviously, and so I'm probably going to be doing other things in the meantime. I may have some other career outside of this too, so it could have been about that even. Damn it, I just missed a trophy. Damn it. But either way, the cards were really pretty. This is actually a friend who lives internationally, so I don't really see her ever. She was an internet friend pretty much, but we're like really good. We're really close. Shout out to her. She also likes VTubers. That's actually not the fandom that we met in. That's not the fandom that we met in. We met back when I was really into Loki, and then we ended up figuring out that we were both into VTubers, so we continued to be besties from there. We're both pretty busy a lot of the times, but we always like have a blast when we're able to talk to each other. But yeah, so she's the one who did it for me, which is cool, and she sent me the photo of the cards, and they were really pretty. Tarot cards are always so pretty to me. Like, it's just like any deck that I've seen has been absolutely stunning, the art and everything. Hers had like a bit of gold, a bit of shine to it, so I thought that was really cool too. Yeah, supposedly though I'm supposed to have like luck with my creativity at least, which is good, because I also, God, I feel like I sound like I'm super into all this stuff, but I'm not. But I also have crystals. Man, a lot of why I have them is just because I really like the way they look. Like, I have two very sparkly ones. It's, I think it's blue goldstone and I think just blue goldstone and red goldstone. They're both very, very sparkly. So I have those, and I think it's the blue goldstone that's supposed to help with creativity, among other things. They also help with like depression, anxiety, and that stuff. And then the other one I have is smoky quartz, yeah, which is also a very pretty one. It's not sparkly. I got a new one recently. The ones that I just mentioned were all like obelisks, I think. And I got a new one that's just like a little like stone. Honestly, I don't remember what it's called. I got it at a flea market. I guess it was like right at the end of last month or early this month. I got a new one. I literally don't even remember what it's called, so I'm gonna have to remember. I'm gonna have to look up and remember that. But yeah, they all kind of just supposed to help with anxiety, depression, and then like creativity. But it's like, not to say I don't believe things have energies, because I do, but also I'm not like super into it, and obviously like I'm not thinking, oh, having a crystal is going to solve all my problems. But they look really pretty, and yeah. I think you're supposed to charge them in the moonlight or something, and I don't really do that. They sit by my window constantly, but also I have my blinds closed most of the time because I'm just a little gremlin, I guess, that doesn't like the sun. I don't know. I've got no clue why I'm like adverse to the sun or something, which I'm not. I like feeling the sun on my face. But when I'm inside, it's just like blind shut, sad at PC. So I don't know, maybe I need to charge them, because I don't know, I feel like I don't really get any creative block, but I'm not gonna like necessarily attribute that to my crystals. I also don't know that I've like seen an increase in my creativity since I've had them, so I don't know. My sister's a bit more into it, and again, like I do believe things have energies to like some extent, but she's more into it. For her last birthday, yeah, my mom gifted her a crystal, and my mom, my sibling, and I all went to a crystal shop together. It was just like a little local one. We all went to a crystal shop together, and we picked out some things to give to my sister. which was really fun. We had a good time. That's actually where I got most of my crystals, because I was like, ooh, shiny things, and little crow brain said that I needed to get them. I don't know. So I got that. I don't think my sibling got any, just because they didn't want to spend money at that time, so they didn't get any. I think my mom got them like a little something, just like as a little gift, and then my mom got me. Did my mom buy? Yeah, I think my mom bought me a little something as a gift too. It was like just a little snail statue, which we didn't even know because it wasn't labeled what stone it is. So even now we're like not sure what stone it is, but it's cute. I actually really love snails. I think snails are super cute. One of my plushies is in fact a snail. It's a cinnamon roll snail actually, so it's like a snail and then has a cinnamon roll shell. One day I kind of want to just do like maybe a hand cam or something and just show off all my stuffed animals on stream, and probably like all my figures too, because I really love all my stuff. I love all my stuff, honestly. I'll just say it. I love my things. I love my little things that I collect. So it was funny though, because one of my roomies, it was a while back, like when we started living together, and I was saying that I liked snails, and she was like, do you really? Like, I don't think you have any snail things. Like, you only have one snail thing. And I went into my room and I pointed out the different snail things that I had, which isn't that many. But she was like, oh, I guess you're kind of right. And I was like, yeah, I guess I am kind of right. Turns out I do know myself. Yeah. But that, and the thing that's actually really prominent in terms of like what animal I like is axolotls. I have a bunch of different axolotl things. I have some things from Hot Topic, and actually I have something from Hot Topic. It was a gift, and it is a bee axolotl pin. So they're combining like two of my favorite things, is bees and axolotls. It was really cute, and I wasn't gonna buy it for myself because like I literally don't even wear it. I really want to be into pins, like button pins and enamel pins and all that stuff, because I see other people with them, like, oh, those are cool, and me personally, like, I love, you know, showing off the things that I enjoy. That's why I have like a whole bunch of anime t-shirts. But for some reason I just can't get into pins. And my sibling has a bunch of pins, so it's like, and they're cute. They're really cute. And I'm like, I like them. I just saw a friend today and they had a bunch of pins on their jacket. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I loved so many of them. But then it comes to, I literally have like a pack of pins that I got. So like, oh, I want to start like having pins. I just didn't. So I was not gonna buy this enamel pin for myself. It's the bee axolotl. How would you combine those? Bee axolotl? I have no clue. I don't know how to combine those two things. You just never know what to do with pins. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's like I have a backpack that I could put them on, and I take this, it's like just a little backpack, and I take it with me like basically everywhere. I have a tote bag that I use on occasion. I mean, I like the backpack better, but I've recently been getting into a good tote bag. So maybe one day I'll get into some good pins. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I guess I could put these on my backpack, but also I don't want to, because A, it's gonna make holes, and I don't want that. And I really don't know what the bee is. Bee, I think if I lost them, I'd be sad. My sibling actually lost a pin while on a trip, and they were really sad about it, and we haven't been able to find that same one again. It was like a mushroom holding a knife, and I got them a similar replacement, but it wasn't the same. I don't think I could handle that loss if I lost a pin that I really liked, but also I don't know. It's weird because I do really like displaying things that I enjoy, and it would be a good way to do that. It would be a good way to do that, and I'm certainly not a minimalist. But whenever I think about putting the pins on anything, I'm like, I'm the same way with stickers, actually. I have some stickers laying around that I want to put on my laptop, I think. But, actually, well, okay, the part of the reason why I don't want to put those on my laptop is because I'm afraid they're going to leave, like, a residue if I ever wanted to change them. And that would not be funky fresh. So I think I need to get a laptop case and then put it on. And I've just been so lagging on doing that. I think it all the time and then I never actually get one. So, but because I know I think that's what my sister used to do at least, was that she would put the stickers on her laptop case. So I kind of maybe want to do that. But then still with the pins, like there's nothing that I could do like that with the pins, where it's like with the stickers, okay, I don't want to put them on this thing because they'll get bent or they'll leave a residue. With the pins, it's not like, oh, well, I could just put them on a case then. Like, that's not... Oh, you know what? Maybe I could do with my pins? I wonder maybe I could put them on my guitar case. Because the only time I really bring my guitar out is when I go to lessons. And it's a soft case, it's not a hard case. So I can't put stickers on it. So maybe I put pins on it. Maybe that's the move. Because otherwise, like the Biaxolotl pin that my friend got me, that I just have on like my little like whiteboard corkboard combo, and I look up and I see it and I'm like, oh, how cute. How cute. I have a Genshin Impact pin also that a different friend got me from like a little fair or something. I have that too, that's just pinned up on this like little whiteboard corkboard thing. I have actually a bunch of bag clips too that I do that with. Those little blind bag sort of things that they have for anime, and it's like all the different characters that look slightly messed up in their designs. There's just something a little bit off about them. You just buy them for like, I don't know, cheap, $5 or something. And it's like real life gacha. Which, my mom's always like, well, I don't know why they do this with so many things, because you don't want all of them. And like, that's exactly why they do it, because you're going to keep going until you got the one that you really want. But sometimes it does deter me, because if I'm like, oh, well, I don't want all of them, I'm not going to waste my money in case it's one I really don't like. So I have to at least be like okay with all of them to try the blind boxes usually. But yeah, so I have a bunch of these like anime bag clips. Like I have like half of the main team from Haikyuu. And which is a little volleyball anime if you're not familiar. And they don't go on my bag or anything. They just hang from pins on this little whiteboard corkboard. I'm just gonna take a little sip of water, one sec. So, yeah, I guess I just never do what I'm supposed to do with things. I just have them for me. They make me happy. And that's what's important at the end of the day. I did say Haikyuu. That is, like, I want to say it's my favorite anime ever. But it's a bit of a toss-up. It's at least in the top 3. Like, I always hesitate to say I have a favorite anything, just because there's usually a few things that I really like from any given area. But Haikyuu has gotta be my probably top 2, honestly. If not my favorite, it's probably top 2. I won't even say top 3, it's probably top 2. I've seen it either 3 or 4 times. Which I feel like is insane because I don't really rewatch things that often. I have to really enjoy something to rewatch it. And I really enjoy Haikyuu. There's something about it that's just magical to me. Yeah, there's actually 4 seasons. What if I'm wrong? No, there's 4 seasons. There's 4 seasons. But they changed the art style for the 4th season to match the manga more closely. And it's really funny because my sibling watched the show before I did, and then we ended up watching it together afterwards. And I said once we got onto the 4th season, I'm like, I actually looked it up first because I didn't want to be crazy, and then I was like, yeah, this art style changed. And they went, it did? And I was like, how did you not notice this? You're the animation buff, okay? How did you not notice the change in the animation style? And like, we're binge watching it too. Like, it is obvious going from one season to another where the style just completely and utterly changes. And I don't like it as much, to be honest. I don't like the story is obviously still really good. The new animation style, it's not as pretty, to be honest. It's not as pretty, and not that it's bad or anything, and I think I'd like it more had it been the only animation that I knew for the show. But it's not. But it's not. Yeah, so, but it does match the manga more closely, so I guess that's something. But yeah, so you've only seen the old animation style if you've seen 3 seasons. And I want to say, no, I was gonna say which season's my favorite, and then I was trying to pick one, and I forget that I can never do that. I guess it might be the 4th, despite the change in animation. One of the matches that they have, I really like a lot to watch, but also, and I always, when I meet other Haikyuu fans in the wild, they always kind of give me a look after what I'm gonna say next, and it's that Oikawa is my favorite. That's my boy. That's my boy. I always end up liking kind of the arrogant evil characters, and he's not really evil because there's no one who's really particularly evil in that show, but he's for sure an antagonist. And it was funny because someone said one time oh, Oikawa always gets lumped in with murderers and demons, and the worst thing that he did was he was a little dramatic as a kid, and that's kind of true. He's just kind of rude. He had a bit of a lapse in judgment when he was in what, I don't know, 8th grade or something, and then all the people who like him end up liking other characters that are like Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like there's always that overlap. And that's me. I always like the villain bad boy type because the asshole arrogant type for some reason. 9 times out of 10, I'll say. Because what's an example? Okay, like My Hero Academia. I'll go with that one because that one is pretty popular. I think I'm caught up on that one anyway also, so but Bakugo. I am not a Bakugo stan. I don't dislike him. I don't dislike him. But I really wasn't that interested in him, and then one of my besties was, and then she would show me fan art, and then I was like, okay. And that was back several years ago now, I guess. Yeah, and so then I was like, oh, I kind of like that character now. He's kind of better now. But my favorite was Todoroki because if it's not someone who's evil, they're just severely emotionally traumatized. Which is honestly Genshin Impact, Scaramouche. Part of why he's my favorite is not because he was evil or whatever. It's because he's very traumatized. and I love the angst. I love the angst. No, I'm really a little too hard to Scaramouche sometimes. But oh yeah, a lot of my favorite fictional characters do tend to be the morally gray side, morally gray or sad past. But that's what I like about fiction. That's what I like about fiction, honestly, is that it's not hurting anyone, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Because I don't know, but it is it's weird sometimes because that's definitely the kind of thing that people do kind of raise an eyebrow at if you're oh, I like Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, and they're like, but he's a murderer, and I'm I know, but however, he's also fictional, so that's kind of where I stand on it. But there's just, I mean, I do have bad taste in men, but that's a different story. See, okay, that's a good trope too. Those are usually the ones that I'm okay, so that's my son. Where it's not they're not I'm not oh, this is my most favorite character, but I'm this is my son and I'm adopting him and I'm gonna keep him safe in my pocket. Hinata and Yamaguchi. More Hinata than Yamaguchi, in terms of the very positive kind of character. Those are my sons, though. And Yamaguchi's also pretty lighthearted kind of guy a lot of the time, from Haikyuu. but definitely I'm like, they're so sun-coded, those are my children, those are my boys. And I think it is classic protagonist kind of vibe, because in anime, this is when I first started watching anime. I was like, okay, so to be a protagonist, you need to be very optimistic, and you also need a sad backstory and probably dead parents. This is from my first few anime that I watched. I was like, okay. Once I was like really getting into anime, from then I was like, okay, so these are the traits in the protagonist. This is usually what they have. Another like little sunshine boy that I like is Yuji from JJK. Deku, honestly, from My Hero, I feel like isn't my favorite example of the sunshine trope, because I mean, granted, he has like whatever, like a bunch of different arcs, and he's not sunshine in all of them. But I actually really liked him when I first started watching My Hero, which was one of the earlier things that I watched. I really liked him when I first started it, and through most of the first season, he was my favorite. But then once we started exploring other characters more, I was like, oh, I feel like he doesn't have as much depth as them. Until later on, then he started getting like better arcs again. But with characters like Hinata or with Yuji, I feel like they're more multifaceted. And even like Hinata, maybe that's not as fair to say. I feel like it's pretty fair to say about Yuji. Maybe it's not as fair to say about Hinata that he's multifaceted, even though he kind of is. I'd say. And not that Deku never was, but I don't know. He just didn't have like enough growth for me through a lot of it. But also with Hinata in Haikyuu, like it's Haikyuu. Nothing that bad is happening, and that's why I love it. Because despite me being like, oh well, if it's an evil character in fiction, and that's interesting. Also, I do like my happy fiction, my little escapism. So okay, so maybe this is the real trend, is if you start with angsty characters, you like the sunshine ones. If you start with happy characters, you like the angsty ones. So I actually haven't seen either of those. I actually haven't heard of Samurai Champloo. Is that what that says? I fully stopped looking at the game. That's crazy that I did that. Samurai Champloo. I actually haven't heard of that one. Cowboy Bebop I've obviously heard of. I haven't seen it. That one's actually on my list, and it's been on my list for a hot minute. And my sibling and I have like a little shared playlist of anime theme songs, and the Cowboy Bebop one is on there. So I definitely would like to give that one a try. I didn't realize that one was angsty though. I feel like with a name like Cowboy Bebop, like it sounds like it's just a fun, funky, silly, goofy little time. I didn't realize it was super angsty. Same people that did Bebop? Okay, alright, that's cool, because the Bebop animation style, because that one's a bit older too, right? Like, is that one from the 90s, I think? And I love the 90s style. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of the new styles, but one of my favorite kinds of fan arts to see also is when people are drawing modern anime and characters in like the 90s anime style. I think that style is just so cute. Like, literally, I don't know what it is. Also, it makes me nostalgic to look at. Like, I feel like if you're going to describe nostalgia in an image, whether or not you watch 90s anime, if you show someone a picture of 90s anime, that's just what nostalgia looks like. Something about the, I guess, like, the kind of filter that it has, like, the sort of grain of it, it just looks nostalgic. It looks how nostalgia feels. That's what I think about it. Me personally. So I tend to like that. But yeah, I've definitely like seen I'm not even gonna say clips. I think I've seen images of Cowboy Bebop. And I feel like I like the style that it had, that somewhat of a nostalgic feel. Which I feel like the nostalgia feel hits the hardest with like magical girl anime from the 90s, but kind of like shoujo in general, but like Bebop too, I feel like it's got that nice 90s look. Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, I can't think of any that I've seen either, and I've been on Twitter a lot these days, trying to network and stuff, trying to make friends in the community. Had a bunch of great interactions so far. Also, you're actually one of the earliest people to follow me on Twitter stuff, so thank you for that. And I will be calling it Twitter and not X. I'm stubborn. But in all of those interactions, I don't think I've seen anyone either with a 90s model. I've seen someone in the past who has like a bit of a retro looking model, but not anime. It's like black and white, kind of almost Western animation-y retro, I think is what it is. I don't know if you know who that is, because I'd love to give the name, but this was, I think, probably half a year ago, and unfortunately I don't recall the name. But yeah, probably, I think, even looking it up, may be able to find it, but like that also is like a really cool concept. But you're so right, and I feel like that would be doable, because you just have, I feel like as long as, and I don't know for sure because I'm not a rigger, I'm pretty sure as long as it's in the right type of file and everything's on different layers, then it can be rigged. So I'd actually love to see a 90s anime style. Maybe if I have a future model, I'll do that. Right now I do have, because this like avatar that I have right now, I'm not the best artist or anything, and I made this on a website. Carrot.me is what it was called, and I actually have someone working on like a fully original look. It's like based on this somewhat, especially in the face, but I do have someone working on an original just from my brain of like what I want, instead of it just being options plucked from a website. So maybe in the future I will be doing a 90s anime style, because I think that'd be cool. And like I said, I really like that style. So I will credit you. I'm gonna credit you for that one, because I didn't even think of that. Bees can't get a license because they way too slowly in touch potion and do the inside. But like, I'm driving right now, so apparently bees can get a license. And if they can't, don't rat me out. That's all I'm gonna say. Apparently though, they let it slide, at least in Mario Kart. Welcome, Gummy Boy. How are you today? Actually, guys, I'm actually not licensed. Like, IRL, like, I'm actually fully not licensed. I do rely on public transportation, so you know what? At the end of the day, I guess bees aren't allowed to have licenses, because I don't. Not even bee anime girls. Gosh darn it. You know what? Bees don't need licenses. They're already defying physics by flying. It's fine. Yeah, did I say public transportation? I totally meant that I fly everywhere with my little bee wings. Lore accurate. That's actually one of the things that with my the new look that I have being worked on, that someone's actually drawing. It's gonna be wings that look more like a bee's wings, which is one of the things I'm really excited about. So there's a few things about the design that are going to be a bit more me, just because it's more free range than just going on a website and working with what they have. This is going to be a bit more me. Although sometimes I'm sitting here, right? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, right? And I've thought this before, and I just have so many things on my to-do list. Maybe what I do is I go back to the website where I made this, and then I change up the outfit a bunch of times, and then I could just stream with different things. Because, like, obviously once I have a rigged model someday in the future, I'm gonna be using that. But in the meantime, while that's not in my budget, I might as well do the most that I can with the medium that I'm using. And I actually tried out a different program offline for using a PNG avatar. And there's benefits to that one because you can have hotkey toggles. The only thing, and I think I need to play around with it a bit more too, but the thing that I didn't like about it was if you went over the window, it would show like the grid of the background, and I don't know if there's a way to get it to not do that. But you were also able to set up hotkeys so that you could have different states to your avatar. And that's one of the things that I really liked. And I did make a couple of quick edits of like blushing and of crying. The blushing one actually I had on my Twitter posts that I made. And I was thinking about streaming with it, but I just don't know. Because of the way the grid shows, and also you do have to like click onto the window to be able to use the hotkeys, and like it was if you click on like the bar at the top, it doesn't show, but if you're like going over there and you hover over it, it shows the grid, and it's like, oh, it's not ideal. If I end up recording, which I actually am, I'm gonna probably at points record videos just to upload. I'll probably use it just because I could edit out if I accidentally show the grid, but I'm not sure about it on stream. But I am thinking about like creating some different, outfits and stuff to wear because, okay, going back to a bit of an earlier conversation too about putting stickers and pins on things. Not so much with pins, but with stickers, I love changing things up. Like in terms of designs, even the way I dress, I will dress wildly differently from day to day. One day I might be wearing like combat boots and a skirt and stuff and like thigh-high socks, and then the next day I'm like wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. And it's just by my mood for the day. Sometimes also depending on what I'm doing, how comfortable I want to be. But my lock screen on my phone, I change all the time. I change that so often, which I actually haven't changed the one that I have now in a hot minute because I'm very content with it. So, but that's odd for me. That's odd for me not to change it often. At one point, I was like joking around to my sibling, and I go, haha, yeah, because I'm totally not mentally ill. And they were like, yeah, I can tell from how often the anime man on your lock screen changes. And I was like, the call out is crazy. The call out was crazy. Because granted, I'd literally probably an hour earlier had said to them, oh, look at, I think it was a Genshin Impact character. I was like, oh, like, look, I was like, look at him, it's my little Dwarbo. So, granted, it was, like, relevant to a conversation we were having an hour ago, but the call out was crazy. That was one of their best, burns to me, I think. But, I mean, it was funny, like, that's my sibling, like, low-key bullies me, but we just have that kind of relationship where it's fine. But sometimes, if you have a friend group, there's that one friend that is, like, the butt of all the jokes, but they're okay with it, like, they take it in stride, and, I mean, obviously, like, in a healthy amount anyway, and we'd always, like, check and be like, oh, like, you're, like, we're not being too mean, right, like, we were, like, fully open about it and stuff, and she was like, oh, no, I'm literally good. And, I mean, she makes jokes at her own expense, too, sometimes. And she's not afraid to make jokes at other people's expense, either. Yeah, but that's kind of the same dynamic that my sibling and I have, is we constantly, like, low-key bully and tease each other. But all in good fun. All in good fun. And at the end of the day, like, my sibling is my bestie. That's my number one confidant. And so, yes, we bully each other all the time, but also, like, I guess it's that kind of mentality of, like, hey, I can bully you, but no one else can. Where it's, like, I feel very fortunate to have someone like that in my life, where it's, like, oh, I know I can turn to you if I need to. Because, like, honestly, I was like, if I could wish, like, one thing for everyone, it would probably be that. Is just to have someone to feel like you can turn to. Because, like, like, I don't know, because to say like, oh, well, I wouldn't want you to feel sadness at all, but it's like it's like weird to say, but there's merit in sad moments. Like, obviously not constant sad moments, and I wish for more happy than sad, but it's like, I know we're talking about, like, I guess unrealistic wishes, unfortunately. But yeah, I feel like there's also just something special about having someone to talk to. Like, it's a very, like, special feeling to, like, have a friend that close. And one of my roommates, we've both been really busy lately, and we've been busy bees. But last night we both, we were out for a bit, and we got back home, and we just talked for like 3 hours straight without even realizing it had been that long, because we hadn't caught up in forever. Like, we'd talk and whatever, but we hadn't, like, really, chatted like that. We were talking about a whole bunch of different things. We were talking about past and stuff, too, from before we'd even known each other. But it was, like, really nice, like, just having someone to talk to like that. Like, it's really nice. And I'm the kind of person that I tend to have a smaller social circle, and I've always kind of been like that. I mean, when I was going to school, in like middle school, high school, mainly I'm thinking like elementary, middle school, they were pretty small schools. So friend options were like limited anyway, because there's only so many of us. But even, like, as I've been in places with more people, I still tend to just gravitate towards having a smaller group, because, I just do better. I do better in smaller groups. I don't always know where I fit in a larger group, even just, like, in terms of a conversation. I'm not sure where I'm, like, let's just say, like, allowed to speak, but allowed to speak, where I'm like, is it okay for me to interject here? And I wonder if part of that is from, just in my, a lot of my formative years having just smaller groups of people constantly, was I didn't have a lot of big group interactions. Even at, camp, I was a little nerd. I never went to sleepaway camp. I was a little nerd, and I did theater camp, and it was essentially the length of a school day, and it lasted for like 2 weeks, and we put on a show. In 2 weeks, which is crazy. If you've ever done theater, like 2 weeks is kind of crazy. Sometimes we do 1 week, and that was chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. But even that camp wasn't that big, and most of the day you were separated into your groups. And again, formative years! So I don't know, I feel like that could be part of it. I feel like maybe that's part of it. But at the same time, like, it does just make me, like, closer, I guess, and just, like, with the people that I do have in my life. It makes me, I don't want to say, like, more appreciative of them, because I think I'd, like, really appreciate them anyway, but it does make me feel closer to them, kind of, like, having that. Like, I guess it also makes us, like, tighter knit. It makes us tighter knit. That's really, I think, what it is for me. I need to get, like, speakers for my PC. I actually don't have speakers for my PC, so I can't, so I need to have, like, my headphones on to hear sound for my PC. I should fully invest in speakers, and then I could just play Mario Kart with my friends. Also, I guess I can't, though, because I only have, okay, 2 of us could play at a time, because when I say friends, I really mean my roommates. We only have 2 remotes, so I guess only 2 of us could play at a time, but it's fine. Or I just steal some from my parents' home. I stayed, with my sister at her apartment, I think it was, yeah, over the summer, and my sibling was there, too. And we had to do only 2 at a time playing Mario Kart because she also only had 2 remotes. So, I guess at the end of the day, maybe I need to invest in speakers and more remotes, I guess. Something else I really want to play with a couple of my friends is Monster Prom. I think we'd have such a hoot with that. I haven't played it before. I've seen people play it. And my friends knew what it was too, and I really think we would just have such fun playing it. So I really want to. So I'm gonna get on this stuff. Let's just add it to my to-do list, which is recently I've been keeping paper to-do lists. Like usually I still have like a miles long list of reminders on my phone, but I think it was getting to the point where I just had like too many little things to write down, and I guess I could have written it just in a note. But I'm actually like, I know a lot of people say like the reminders app doesn't work for them, that like they'll just like clear it, or like it's just like a background image to them. It really bothers me to have them sitting there because it's blocking whatever I have for my lock screen, and I want to look at my lock screen because I have my lock screen there because I like what the image is. So for me, the reminders app really actually works because I'll either like if I'm like, okay, well this isn't actually gonna happen tonight, I will either just like I'll do like remind me in the morning, remind me tomorrow, or I'll just go in and change the day and time. So it tends to work for me, but I think I just have so many things, and it's like, well, I know I'm not gonna be able to sit down and do these 9 different things that I want to look into at the same time, and I don't want to make 9 different reminders for it. So I've just been writing them actually like on sticky notes. But the thing is, sometimes I'm not home, and I'm like, oh, I want to write this down. So I set a reminder to write something down on my to-do list. And I don't know, there's something, I just make it on like a notes app or something, just do a to-do list on my notes app. And I do that on occasion if I'm like in a place where it's like, okay, my day-to-day is getting pretty busy and I need to actually like write out a little schedule for tomorrow. I will do that just on my notes app. However, I feel like somehow that just doesn't work for me. The reminders app works for me, but if I have to go into my note app and like do things, like half the things still aren't getting done. But writing it on paper, it just, I don't know, it makes me want to do it more for some reason. So I've taken to sticky note to-do lists recently, which is, it's a new one for me. It was good because I really had a meeting the other day and I forgot to grab something, like a piece of paper to write on, and I just had like a sticky note because I accidentally grabbed 2 like before when I wanted to write something. I was like, oh, perfect, I could just use this, and I just used it. But I think at some point I must have really liked writing things on sticky notes because I have just like a stack of like a bunch of different colors, and I want to say I've had it for 4 or 5 years or something, which is like a long time. So I think I like was using them and then stopped. Maybe I was using it to like annotate things like in school. So then, I don't know, and then I just wanted to keep having them because I was used to having them. Or maybe my mom used them a lot, so maybe I was in the habit of using them. Because yeah, I do remember when I was in school that I would use them to annotate. And so then I was just, every time I went to the store for years, I was just in the habit of like, oh, let me get more sticky notes, to the point even where I think by high school I honestly had stopped using sticky notes, but I'd still like go to the store and I'd be like, let me get sticky notes. I'd be, like sometimes clothes shops also have like really random things by the register, and sometimes they'd have like cute sticky note sheets, and it's like, well, I have this stack that I've been collecting for the last decade. And I stopped using them several years ago, but these are cute, so let me get them. And so I just have a whole stack, and there was a period of time where my sibling and I would just like make each other little doodles on sticky notes and kind of like stick them on each other's walls, and then like wait for each other to find them, which is cute. But we haven't done that in ages either. I should do that. I'm gonna see them next week. I should do that. I believe I have sticky notes in my room at my parents' house. if I should do that. Give him a little doodle. Give him a little doodle. Actually, we don't do it as often, but every once in a while they'll still do it. Or is that one old? Because I do have one still on my wall from them at my parents' house. But honestly, I feel like it's kind of old. And I just still have it there because, like, they gave it to me! They gave it to me! What am I supposed to do? Get rid of it? Like, I'm not a hoarder, but if someone gives me something, I don't like getting rid of it. So, my sibling is so talented though, like even in any little doodle they do. You know what, it wasn't a sticky note, but last time we were, or one of the last times we were at our parents' house together, they were just in a doodly mood and they gave me just like a piece of paper with random doodles on it, and I was like, what is this? And it was just sort of, it was like a carrot and then like a random hairball with, it was cute though. It was cute. I was like, oh, thank you for this entire piece of paper with 2 doodles on it. And it's just like sitting like on a bookshelf in my room. So I was like, I don't know where to put this right now. But I go in then when I go to my parents' house and I see it and I'm like, oh, they drew me a little something. I'm like, tee-hee, they drew me a little special something. So, yeah, I'm not, like, I'm creative, I'm artistic, I'd say. However, I'm not an artist. This just gets into like a conversation of like, well, what is an artist? And you don't have to be good at something, you know, to enjoy it, which is fully true. You don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. I do ever get very frustrated sometimes when I'm trying to draw and it's not turning out the way I want, especially because sometimes I have just like a bout of inspiration and something turns out good and I'm like, this is it, I'm finally good at art. And then it turns out it was just a fluke and then I'm back where I was. And specifically like with human anatomy, I'm not good. Hey, super duper something. I know it's been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute. How are you doing? I really wanted to stream and I thought I was gonna have time on Tuesday, especially something I was supposed to do Tuesday got canceled because the person that I was gonna meet with was sick. And so I was really thinking I was going to do a bit of a guerrilla stream, and then I actually didn't have time. I ended up doing other things. I worked on some things offline for streaming and for while I'll be away. So I'm going to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. So I was working on a bunch of stuff, plus just my IRL commitments, unfortunately. So I didn't get to do it, but I want to play more Suika game. And obviously I didn't have time to do that during the week, but I was ready. I was like, I had like an itch to stream. I was like, ooh, let me add it. I wanna get on. I wanna hop on and go live. And it was weird because today I was like, it feels like forever. I felt like the same nerves I felt when I was debuting, and maybe that's partially because I'm on Twitch too, and like it's my Twitch debut technically, I guess. But I was feeling like all jittery and stuff. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to assume it's your birthday. So sure, I swear that once someone told me the happy birthday song is copyright, so if I get copyright claimed, I don't know what to do about that. But sure, I can sing in my silly little singing voice. That's not good. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm actually, if I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna drink some water first, and then I shall sing you a song. Alright, okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Super. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I can't sing, so I hope that wasn't that bad for you. I really have not sung in front of people in ages. So, but happy birthday if it's your birthday. I'm going to assume that it is. Otherwise, that is kind of a strange request. But yeah, eat cake today. Or if you don't like cake, eat your favorite snack. Because maybe you don't. Honestly, I'm not that big of a cake person. I don't eat cake on my birthday. usually I have donuts, except this past year I had brownies, which wasn't, I love brownies too, don't get me wrong. I love brownies, probably my second favorite dessert thing after donuts. But that's what my mom made, and I was not gonna complain, so brownies are good. That was an attempt. Yeah, I know. That's certainly, singing is not my forte, okay? Singing is not my forte. I literally was never good at singing, which is weird, because like I did theater, like I fully performed. So it's like, you think I would have retained something, and I just simply never did. You're too busy? Aww. That's sad. I know, it's like growing up, my parents work, or on their birthday, and be like, you don't have off, or I have like a test on my birthday, and they're like, that's simply just how the world works, and I'm like, no, it's my day. It's my day. I'm sorry, but thanks for chilling with me on your birthday. Hopefully you got to have some fun this weekend, at least celebrate a little bit, even if it's not on the day. Or just take it easy now. I assume it's evening for you too. Just take it easy now in the evening. You know, have a little snack. Maybe have your favorite drink or something. Cozy up with a blanket. 'Cause I don't know about you, but it's cold where I am, so it's very much wrap yourself in a blanket and just chill. Just chill. Which I like to do. I love when it snows, just wrapping myself in a blanket, sitting by the fire, drinking some hot cocoa. So do that kind of stuff because I don't know, every minute counts. Yeah, I fully hit into my phone, and then it hit into my keyboard, which is so silly goofy of me. I was like, alright, I'm just not gonna acknowledge it until someone does. But yeah, it's okay, it's my siblings' fault, because they're actually, okay, I'm going home on Wednesday, actually. I'm going back to my parents' house, but my sibling is there already. And they texted me that it's weird that I'm not there. Hypercly, hi! Oh my gosh, and Raiders, hello, welcome, welcome! I'm just doing a bit of Mario Kart and currently failing. I did not get any trophy on that last attempt, but if at first you don't succeed, try again, and especially true in Mario Kart where the rounds go so quick. How is your stream, Hypercly? How is your stream, Claw? What were you playing? And again, thank you so much for the raid. That makes me really happy. I feel special. I feel it's my special little boy syndrome kicking in. Fortnite. Oh my gosh, I've never played Fortnite. Actually, I have a friend who really wants me to play. She plays a lot with her boyfriend, and she's like. And I'm pretty close with her. I've known her for many years now, and she's like, "Wait, we should play Fortnite too." And I'm like, I've never done any like, I've never played it before. I haven't done games like that before. But like, I'm always like, I'm so scared to try it. I'm so scared to try it. But maybe I will. Maybe I will. I should. Okay. That one. People have told me I should try Valorant. People have told me I should do Overwatch. What's the other, Apex, like all of those kind of games, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna be so ass at them, but I do want to try. Couple goals? No, literally, they're like my OTP. Apex is good too. And Super said about hot cocoa, your tradition is watching Polar Express. Actually, the hot chocolate song in that movie, like low-key, everyone knows that. Everyone knows that song. Everyone knows the hot chocolate. Like, just that part in particular. But also the animation in Polar Express low-key scares me. So, but I love actually the Polar Express book a lot. Like, my parents would read that one to me when I was younger, and that one was good. No, literally, the hot chocolate song goes so hard. I remember literally just being in high school and people would just start singing it in the winter because our cafeteria would have hot chocolate, and it was so random, but it was funny. Apex and Valo are good. Okay, well see, everyone always has like a different recommendation when I ask about FPS, and so I guess the real solution is that I try all of them. And I need to write it down. Except the thing is, when I first got my PC, I downloaded Valo because a lot of the streamers that I was watching at the time were playing it, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this one. And I think I made like the account and everything, and then I had a job and I was too busy and I just wanted to sit down and play the games that I knew. And then Riot, that's what it is. Riot client kept opening up and telling me I didn't have a signal, and then it kept pissing me off because I'm literally connected to the internet. Stop telling me I don't have a signal. And so I just deleted the entire thing off of my PC, and I was like, when I actually have time and I'm good and ready, I'll come back and then I'll play it that time. Valorant is most fun with friends. I need more friends who are into gaming, honestly, because I have some who are like kind of casual gamers, I guess, and I have some who are into like one or two games specifically. Like the friend that I said that plays Fortnite with her boyfriend, like she mainly just plays Fortnite and then like a couple of Mario games, but she's not like a gamer or anything. And then I have acquaintances, and I know acquaintances of acquaintances who play games, but out of like my friend group, I'm kind of the only one who's, you know, more into gaming and like thinks about it like non-stop and stuff. Except for Genshin Impact. One of my best friends plays Genshin Impact, and we talk about that a lot, and we've played that together. But oh my gosh, Claude, don't worry, please go and get rest. That is the most important, always taking care of yourself and getting a good night's sleep. Because breakfast may be the most important meal of the day, but even a good breakfast can't cure no sleep. So have a good rest and good night. Okay, take your time, Super. Take your time, Super. I do play Star Rail. I am so not caught up on the story. I'm trying to remember the last time I did the story, and I think it was in July? I want to say it was July. And I haven't played it since because a lot of the streamers that I like to watch are on at night, and I love catching streams live. I am VODing sometimes, but I love watching things live because I love the community aspect of it, which is really what drew me to it, because I kind of like, wasn't in fandom for like a little while. Like I wasn't in any one particular fandom like I used to be, and so I really missed community like that over something. And that's what really drew me to it. So I would, instead of playing Star Rail, I would just watch a stream, and then by the time that like some of those streamers were kind of taking breaks or something, and I was like, oh good, I'll have time to play, and then life got really busy, and then I was at the point where I was about to start streaming, so I was like, oh well, I could just play it on stream someday, and I'm at the point where I'm only streaming 2, maybe 3 times a week, and I haven't done it yet. But I do like the game a lot, and I think the animation is like gorgeous. Hoyoverse definitely leveled up in how they modeled characters from Genshin to Star Rail, and I love the expressiveness of it. And I like when you click on a trash can and it says like random things about it, like that's not my kind of humor. I would sit in my room laughing alone. So see, I've been avoiding spoilers like the plague, and I haven't interacted with as much Star Rail content now that I haven't been playing it since I was trying to avoid spoilers. So I guess I succeeded in that, because now it's not really getting recommended to me anymore. But I miss seeing the fan art for it for sure. So definitely, maybe I'm not gonna be live really next week because of my trip. But maybe the week after that, stay tuned. I think I'll put Star Rail on because I definitely want to do more of that story. Valorant is bad for new player and FPS due to how long. See? So okay, that's my biggest fear is like I don't want to do one that's going to be too hard to start off because I can get like overwhelmed kind of easily and like sensory overload and stuff, and so I'm a little nervous. So that's why I feel like my plan was I'm going to be a bit more free come like mid-December. So my plan was I was just going to put up a poll and ask people which one they thought was best for beginners and then do that one and hope for the best. So keep an eye on Twitter for that in a month or so. Also, welcome Hydrain, how are you doing tonight? But yeah, so I'm going to have to do some research, gather some opinions. Yeah, because I have a feeling if I ever get good at FPS, it's gonna be a hot minute. Yeah, okay, because the thing about, the only thing is that I did stream the new Genshin update. I guess that was only last week, and it feels like forever ago. I streamed most of the story, and then I finished it offline. And it's like, the only thing was that Genshin is like my favorite thing. Like my favorite piece of media. Genshin is like my favorite piece of media right now, and so I wasn't able to like absorb myself in the story as much as I usually am, and so that's the only thing that I'm like, okay, Genshin I may not play on stream story-wise, but I'm also doing Persona 5 Royal, which I will be streaming tomorrow night. I've had one stream for that so far. And I've actually played that before and didn't get like the ending that they put in for Royal. I just got like the base ending that was in regular Persona 5. And so, like, that story, even though I don't remember a lot of it and I kind of need to pay attention to kind of relearn what's going on, I don't, like, mind that as much. So that's the only thing where I'm, like, a little hesitant to do Star Rail on stream is because I'm, like, I'm not a great multitasker. So it's, I'm, like, a little nervous that I'm not going to be able to absorb the story. But I mean, do it for the content. Do it for the content. And I think that I'm more comfortable in streaming too. Like every time that I do this, I realize I'm slowly getting better at just like being natural, because I've never really done something quite like this before. Even like all my extracurricular in high school, I was behind the scenes. So I'm getting used to this. So I do think I want to, maybe it'd be a good test run too for me to do, like, see if I can do story and kind of like split my time between that and like being entertaining, because that's my thing, is like I want to focus on the story but I want to be entertaining. So it's all about practice, I guess. Yeah, because I've definitely heard that build is harder than no build. So I probably, which honestly I didn't even realize like building in Fortnite was a thing until maybe a few months ago, and I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean building? And I was like, oh, okay, I see now. But I've definitely heard that no building is easier. So yeah, maybe Fortnite will be the one that I try first, and maybe I could, maybe I'll do that one, because I could definitely, like, I know that I have someone who has it offline, so maybe I could try it out offline first and not just, like, totally stink on stream for the first time ever trying FPS. maybe that's the move. Maybe that's the move. Yeah, thank you for that, because it is something that, kind of gets to me sometimes, and like anything that I do, not even just in streaming in particular, where like I was talking about a little bit earlier, art, that like I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but it's something that I enjoy doing, and for the longest time I would not see the results that I wanted to, and it would make me so frustrated that I would just pull back entirely. Instead of like, which is like a really bad mentality to have, and I've like overcome that in a lot of ways. I think a few years back I kind of got to the point of hey, this is for me. If I want to sit and draw an anime boy, I'm gonna do that, and if it doesn't come out good, I just won't tell anyone that I did it, and then that's fine. And I think that, like, just in terms of life in general, that was, like, low-key a breakthrough for me, of it being, like, I can do things just for me, and I can kind of do things at my own pace, and then, because, I, again, don't have as much time as I'd like to do everything that I want to, so I haven't, like, drawn in a hot minute, but there was a period where I was doing it consistently, and I had more time over the summer. I was doing it consistently, and I was seeing improvements. And I just needed to get over this mentality of, if I'm not good at it at first, I'm just gonna stop, because I was like that overachiever kid in high school, like parents wanted me to get straight A's, and so I did. However, that's also how I feel about things in general, is like, oh, I just need to be good at it. I need to get, you know, straight A's in life, essentially, which is just simply the straight A's in life don't exist. Which is, schooling is so weird. Schooling's so weird on so many levels. But, yeah, I'm definitely... Honestly, I love streaming. I haven't even been doing it for a month. This is like my 3rd week doing it. And I'm like honestly enamored with it, and I think, I don't know about the larger streaming community, because I've never really watched streamers that aren't VTubers, but the VTubing community, like, I hold just such love for. And I've met, like, literally Claw rated me, like, that is so sweet. Like, again, I know he's gone, but shout out to Claw, because literally amazing. But like that, like, literally, just on Twitter and everything, just that community, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Which, I don't know, I like to see it. I like to see it. I love good vibes. I love good vibes. Because I feel, God, I'm gonna say I've, like, never had drama in a friend group, because that's 100% not true. But by the end of high school, the friend group that I did have, we were all pretty chill. Except for, okay, story time. In high school, I had a group. Originally, we were, wait, I can do basic math. Wait, 5, 6, 7. So we were 7 originally in this group. There were 7 of us in this friend group. And then this one girl, like, totally freaked out that 2 people, okay, so we'll call the one girl O. O, like, totally freaked out that these other 2 people in the friend group, M and D, hung out without her, even though she was invited to hang out and, like, fully declined. And so she totally freaked out about it and, like, started, like being nasty to D, and then we ended up kind of drifting away from her, and then a little bit from M too, which was more just, like, we didn't have, like, the same classes as M. And then there was 5 of us, and then literally, like, the last week of high school, all of us realized that there was someone else in the friend group, who we'll call K. None of us liked K, and we were all just suffering in silence, because K was like, low-key rude, like, low-key a bully about some things. And we all were suffering, like, by ourselves, and then we, literally in the last week, we were like, oh, well, I just didn't want to make drama, and so I didn't say anything, and I thought everyone else liked her, and we were like, oh, well, I thought everyone else liked her, so I didn't say anything. And it was kind of great, because at the end, we were all like, oh, okay, well, at least we don't have to worry about this now, because we're graduating, and then we can just naturally, you know, kind of drift away. But we were, like, so drama-free to the point that we're like, oh, we're just not gonna say anything that we're getting weird vibes from Kay. Which is, like, maybe not great on the one hand. But on the other hand, hey, no drama. We got that going, at least. See, that's not, like, I don't know that I can say streaming has changed my life yet, because I'm so new to it. But when I hear people like you, Blitz, or I've heard other people say, like, streaming has changed my life, like, I'm almost, like, looking forward to that day, because it's already definitely greatly changed my life. Like, I feel almost like a sense of like accomplishment, because it's something that I've been thinking about for almost a year probably, that I'm like, okay, I really want to do this thing. And I didn't even have like a PC. And I got to the point where I was able to get a PC. I was able to like figure out all the software and stuff. I already met some like really chill people. I'm here and I'm doing it. Like, I think it's literally awesome that like so many people, and like yourself included, can say that it's changed your life, because it's such a non-traditional career path, or even just like, even as a hobby. And I feel like even as a hobby, it's always going to be, if you're going to dedicate yourself to it, like it is like a time-consuming hobby. And it is something that like does take, like, it takes energy out of you. But the fact that it is like such like an accessible thing at the end of the day, because I know you can like stream from a laptop and stuff, but my laptop was kind of old even, and like wasn't really able to run the software. And just the community that comes from it, like it feels so unique to me, and not even just VTubing, just like streaming in general, 100%. It's, I don't know, it's good. I like it, and I think, despite like, I feel like a lot of people kind of, you know, from my experience, a lot of like older generations and stuff kind of being like adverse to technology a little bit. Like, even my parents aren't the biggest fan of technology and the internet and whatever. And I'm honestly, like, I'm gonna say I'm blessed, really, that they're supporting me, because I did not think that they were gonna support this route for me. And they did, like, wholeheartedly. And part of what it is they're like, oh, well, you can actually, like, turn this into something if you dedicate yourself to it. And so the fact that even, like, people who maybe aren't, like, 100% into the internet, aren't 100%, like, on board with, like, all these technological advances, kind of see the merit in this. Like, I just feel like that kind of says something of, like, this is one, like, if you want to do this, this is going to be a worthwhile thing. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like really lucky, because I feel so blessed to have so many people in my life, and I don't really use the word blessed that often. Like, I usually say lucky or something, but like I do feel like I know that's not even luck. Like, that is just not something that everyone has, and it's something that I didn't really think that I had. And so it's like, even like in my real life, in a way, streaming has like affected that, because I've had like such support from people that I know. I have friends, and I haven't like even given most of them my channel name, because I'm low-key cringe sometimes, and I don't know that I want people I know in real life seeing that. But I even have friends like IRL who are like, oh, let me go follow you, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? So it's like weird, because I tend to be very like analytical in the way that I think and the way that I view things, and even just like looking at myself, and I'm like constantly in this state of like this is part of why I like to like always have myself on my phone or something, because once I start thinking, my brain just like keeps going, and so I'm always kind of like in a bit of a reflective state. But recently it's been more obvious to me, like the people in my life, and that I have that now, that I really have made like really strong friendships. And obviously like I appreciated them regardless, but it's like sometimes you don't really realize just how much people love you. And there's literally always someone who loves you like that much. Like there always is. No, I'm sure. I have a lot of tummy troubles. I have a lot of tummy troubles. If you follow me on Twitter, I swear I tweeted like 3 times in the past week, like, oh no, tummy hurty, or like, oh no, I just ate dinner and now my stomach hurts. Or sometimes I'm like about to go to dinner and then my stomach starts hurting. And so I have a lot of those moments. That's TMI. Is that TMI? Too many on the Twitch. Actually, that's one of my favorite jokes in Agretzko, and I don't really like potty humor that much, but Agretzko, it's like it's an anime. It's about this red panda that like death metal sings to release her anger. That's mainly what the first 3 seasons are about. It goes, things get a little different the last few seasons, but there's this one point where she's trying to hide something from one of her co-workers, and her excuse is like essentially, oh, I just made like a really good number 2, and I'm like, why is that like low-key, like there's some universal things, and that's like kind of just one of them. Those friends are your ones you didn't tell people till a year after? Yeah, like because it's like the one friend that I've had for like several years now, and we get together literally once a week. We make sure to get together once a week to chat and catch up, and then also my roommates, because I need to tell them that like I'm doing this, because like I sit in here and just speak to nothing for hours. And I guess for all they know, I could have been on a call, but it felt like the kind of thing where also like I just felt like they should be informed that, hey, I'm streaming, and just so like, because literally I hear it, there's nothing I can do about it right now, is the white noise that my mic picks up from the AC being on sometimes, and so like low-key, it's kind of sensitive, and so I was like, they should probably know that I'm going to be doing this, and that people will be able to hear things live on air. So yeah, those are mainly the people that I've told, and then my parents and stuff, because of, you know, reasons, because they're my family and whatever. But there's definitely a lot of people who, like, I'm just like, I think about it, I'm like, do I mention that this is a new thing I'm doing? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna say anything. Hi party, my model's adorable. Thank you. I made it on a website that's called carrot.me. I think I'm saying that right. The link is actually, I think, in my YouTube description. Because I'm not an artist, and I'm also broke. So I have something that's being worked on now that I'm also really excited about. It's gonna keep a lot of like the face the same and inspiration from the hair, but it has a lot more me in it. 'Cause also I made this, I don't know why, I literally could have changed this at any point before I started streaming, but I made this model like half a year ago, and I grew attached to it, this little avatar. But it is, I feel kawaii. I feel kawaii. Oh, you've seen the Gretzko 2 Blitz? It's literally it's one of my favorites for sure. I'm sorry guys, one sec. My mom needs me. She's texting me, so one sec. Okay, she's asking me about air freshener. I'm gonna respond to that later. I'm gonna assume she doesn't need. Also, I literally don't know what she's talking about, so I'm just not gonna respond right now. Sorry, Mom, I'll respond later. Yeah. But yeah, Agretzko, one of my favorites. I've seen the first 3 seasons probably 2 or 3 times all the way through. Seasons 4 and 5 aren't my favorite. I'm not as into them. They're still good. I don't dislike them. I just feel like it got a little off track of what the initial series was like supposed to be about. No, literally, that's why I was like I don't want to seem crazy that I'm talking to myself in my room every weekend. Because it's like up until this point, like I haven't, you know, been on call with people that often. But it's like I don't tell them when I do have a call, but also it's like I'm not going live to the world where something could happen that they like what if they, why would they like stand outside my door and shout their personal information? I don't know, but what if they did do that? I feel like they should know. I feel like they should know, and so that's kind of why I told them. Yeah, exactly. And this is why actually the new art that I have being worked on, shout out to my sibling. They're actually gonna do it, but also they said they'd do it in the past and then they were too busy and weren't able to do it, so we'll see. But this time supposedly like they're actually starting it, so shout out to them, I guess. And then I'm gonna look for a rigger at some point after that, once I kind of figure out my finances. But definitely you could get into it with just a free thing, so I think like definitely good you know, part-time, definitely part-time cadence, definitely. Free is the way to go when you're starting. And also, I did a lot of research before embarking on this journey. And several sources were like, don't sink a lot of money into it, because what if you decide it's not for you? And I was like, true that. True that. Hi, B-Mom. Oh. Yeah, I didn't even respond to her, so she doesn't know. I'll tell her. I'll do a little silly goofy later, and I'll be like, yeah, I mentioned that you texted me on stream, or I'll just say I'm streaming currently when I tell her, and I'll be like, oh, you got a shout out, you got a hi, you got a hi. Actually, I don't even think my mom knows what my model is, or did I tell her? I can't remember if I told her or not that I have like a little, that my character is like a little bee. I literally don't know. Sometimes, because I tell people things and I'm like sitting there and I'm like, have I told you this thing before? But 100%, I do not want my parents watching me. Especially I don't want my friends watching me. I don't want my family watching me. My goodness. My goodness. No, like I love y'all, but ooh, let's not. Yeah, 4 or 5 of Agretzko. I think 4 was better than 5 to me. I don't know about you, Blitz. I think I'd probably just say that my favorite seasons is literally just sequentially, like the first season's my favorite, and then the 5th season is my least favorite, and like all the other ones in between fill in. I liked the climax of season 3 a lot. I thought that was pretty well done, and the first time I watched it, I was like 3 a.m. and I was in my bed. My heart was low-key racing. But 4 and 5, there was hardly any even death metal singing, and it started low-key. Haida was fine, I guess, but I was there for Agretzko. I wasn't there for him, and they really focused on him a lot more in seasons 4 and 5, and I just wasn't as into it. And my mom actually watched Agretzko. I got my mom to watch it, and she felt the same way, and my sister's seen it, and she felt the same way, so I think that's a generally agreed upon thing from the few people that I know. Not responding to my mother. Listen, I'm streaming. She knows, my sibling too. I think like the second or third time I streamed, and they sent me a picture, and then they sent me the picture again, and I was like, why did you send me the picture twice? And they were like, well, you didn't respond. And I went, I was streaming. And they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah. I was like, if I don't respond to you in the evening, it's probably because I'm streaming. My mom literally asked me what air freshener I use in my apartment that works really well, and I don't remember telling her about air freshener. And I know what air freshener we have, and it's literally just like Febreze. Like, we literally just use Febreze. So I'm confused what she's asking me about, and I don't have the brain power right now. So I'm like, I'll just do it later. I'll just tell her later. Well, I mean, she's an insomniac, so she's up late, so it's fine. We're good. We're good. Vroid? I actually haven't heard of Vroid. I'm gonna try to look into that one. Is it just for is it like PNG models also? Because I'd looked into a few things and I ended up using, again, I think it was called carrot.me. So thanks for the shout out for that one, Cadence, because I'm gonna look into that one, because now that I'm actually doing this, I'm like constantly looking for things that'll work better for me or work best for me. Like I tried a different program for like putting my PNG up. I was talking about it earlier, that it's like I like it, but I need to play around with it a bit more before I decide that I want to use it, because just certain things with the interface, I was like, eh. Do you like the second season, her Idol arc? Yeah, okay, so I do like the Idol arc a lot too. That one was fun, but something about humor and just the actual like focusing on the plot of what I signed up for, of Little Red Panda singing death metal. That's why season 1 is my favorite, but I think I do like the Idol arc a lot. I do like that one a lot. No spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it's really just season 4 and 5 that I'm kind of like, I raise an eyebrow. I'm like, I don't think the creative team changed. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened there, but sometimes things just do go on for a bit too long. Lots of shows before then, like, you could have just stopped it there. Over the summer, my sibling and I were watching Lost, because we'd never seen that before, and supposedly that's, like, kind of, like, that is, like, the, like, you know, primetime drama or whatever the heck, and it kind of is, like, the model for a lot of things that came after it. And I only saw, like, the last season or two because my sibling had been watching it, and then I started watching it with them. And I was lost and lost, but also apparently the show just went fully off the rails and had so much missed potential. But I feel like that, like a lot of shows, that it's like, for me, anytime you have a story to tell the story and don't just keep dragging it on for money. Like, that's like one of my pet peeves with media. Family viewing is fear. No, literally, I'm like, hey guys, I say a whole lot of things on here. Don't listen. Literally, my debut, my sibling texted me like 20 minutes into me streaming, and it was like, hey, where can I watch your stream? And I was like, oh, here's the link, I guess. And they're like, oh, do you not want me to watch you? And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on you watching me. And so then they didn't, which is like good, because I felt I love my sibling, they're my bestie, and I felt really bad to be like, don't watch me, but also like, don't watch me, and they'd be low-key uncomfy with how many times I mentioned them. But it's like, I was hanging out with friends earlier, and it was some people that I wasn't as acquainted with. I was really like, yeah, me and my sibling, like, we're attached at the hip. Like, that is, people thought we were twins growing up, so I don't think my mom knows where my mom is. Did I say that? Guys, listen, I'm tired. I actually almost fell asleep like 10 minutes before I started streaming. not that soon, but like 20, like half an hour. I was like sitting on my bed because I'd like set stuff up, and I was like, oh, I'm tired, and I was like, I need to get off this bed before I fall asleep. Guys, listen, there's a lot of super, you know, you've been here before. My brain goes in 5 different directions at once, and sometimes sentences don't happen. V-Roid's a 3D model builder. Okay, cool, because actually, I have to look into what equipment you need for the 3D to work, but I've done 3D modeling before, so it was a class that I had. So I don't like have the program anymore, but it's something that I'm used to. Like, I've done that kind of thing before. So the only thing that I didn't do a lot of like movement in the modeling. It was a lot of static models, and so what makes me a little nervy is that I'm like, physics? I don't physics. I don't know. So that's what makes me a little like, I'm like, because even when I was first looking into this, I was like, can I just learn how to make a model myself, or how to rig a model myself? And it's a lot of like time and effort, and that's why, you know, a lot of these models, like, they could be on the pricier side, but you're paying for these people's experience and their knowledge, because it was something that I honestly would be interested kind of in figuring out, but I just don't have the time to do. Like, I don't need another thing on my to-do list. And so I will defer to the people who have dedicated themselves to the craft. V-Roid's a good option for starting? Okay. See, I'm still learning about a lot of stuff, and because mainly what I know is, like, all 2D models. I think the 3D models are cool. For me personally, in terms of, like, aesthetic, I like the live 2D, but I also really do want a 3D model at some point. So I just might reverse the order then, if that's a good starting point. Just add it to my to-do list. So I'll write it down after this course actually to look into V-Roid, because recently I feel like I've been seeing a lot of 3D models out there, and I'm like, that was actually like really cool. I'm like, oh, that was actually like really cool. And so I'm scrolling, and I'm like, oh, that one. I'm like, oh, that one too. And they do have a different look to them, for sure. But it's not like bad at all, of course. Like, it's literally not bad at all. I just tend to, they look like a little bit like less anime to me usually. And I was talking earlier too, like, I really like a lot of like 90s anime style. And so just in terms of my personal aesthetic, I'm like, oh, and I think because a lot of the ones that I've watched and a lot of the ones that I was first into were live 2D, that I kind of just got caught up on that idea. And because from what I was seeing, I thought like 3D was harder to get your hands on and stuff. But if there's like I don't know, I'm not the best researcher, but in all of my research, I like didn't see anything like recommending Vroid or recommending good 3D things. And I was trying to be very thorough in what I was looking at. I was trying to kind of find a bit of everything, and like there were some really good thorough videos out there for PNG tubers, and just for using a PNG. And even in terms of live 2D, there were like some things about how to like set it up and stuff, but a lot of what I was having success finding was actually just for PNGs. And so I was like, okay, so this is just the route that I'm going to go. And I'm gonna hope for the best. Okay, but see, that's the thing that I'm saying is I love the anime style, especially like, you know, like earlier ones. So I've actually never, wait, is that a lie? I used Maya. That was the 3D program that I was really interested in, that I was really learning. But I think I've used Unity a bit before, so I will definitely, but I just have the time, and again, during winter I should have some more time to kind of do these things, so I will for sure attempt. Doesn't hurt to attempt. That's true. I think with any piece of media, humor kind of, and the content depends on like the socio-political atmosphere at any given time. It's actually very much reflected in media, and in particular horror, I think it is, that like the kind of horror movies that get made is reflective of like what's going on in the world at the time. Twitch Sing, I don't even know what Twitch Sing is. I'm a newbie with Twitch. Twitch Sing sounds fun though, sounds like a party, but I can't believe your dad watched you during your first year. I would be so, that's why I'm so nervous that people are gonna watch me that I know IRL. I'm like, no, I'm just this cringe little anime B girl, don't watch me. Oh, it has preset shapes and stuff? Wait, okay, that's actually sick. You pop it out with a download, automatically withdraw. Sick, okay, hold on, that's actually pretty sick because, again, like I didn't see that literally anywhere. I've never heard of Vroid before. So it sounds really cool though, honestly, because it's like, again, like when you're paying for people to make your model, you're paying for their experience and stuff. And like if you've dedicated a lot of time to it, obviously you're going to be better at it. But I'm glad that there is something that is like, I guess, you know, a bit more accessible. Would be what it is. So yeah, that's cool. Listen, I love the auto steering super because I literally sometimes fully look at my second monitor just to make sure stream hasn't crashed, and I'm just like fully looking away from my game. I don't know that I could do it without auto steering. I played with my sister, and we did without auto steering, and I actually won a couple times. So if I wanted to, I could. And I've played in lobbies without the auto steering before, so I could do it. And if I play Mario Kart again, I perhaps maybe I guess I could take it off tonight for a bit. I just have to, you know, be careful not to look away as much because I'd fully drive off the edge. But you know what? I haven't been bowling in years, but the last time I went, I was still using the little bumper, the little lane bumper thing. So it's just, sometimes it's just for the chill vibes, and the chill vibes include auto steering. You started with PNG tubelets, and you got did a lot of fiber commissions. Reality for your first model. That's another thing that I haven't heard of was, yeah, reality. That's what that says. Sometimes I'm like, can I read words correctly? I'm gonna check out your current model after this, actually, because I'm intrigued to see what you have. I love seeing models. Everyone has such like unique, cute models. Like the creativity in just like the VTuber community is astounding. There are so many creative people with creative ideas just literally showing in their models. In the future, humor will be randomly generated Larry the Cucumber. That's crazy. I love VeggieTales. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I just started singing the VeggieTales theme song, and my roommate literally looked at me for like a full 30 seconds before going like, oh, that's what you're doing. No, same, Hydrate. If my family watched me, I would simply be deceased. I would just die midstream. You would watch a murder and I would die of cringe. They had an application for karaoke. I actually have plans to do karaoke with a group in December, and I haven't sung like on a stage since I was like, I don't know, 16 something, 13. That's a huge gap. Since I was like a young teenager. Let's just say it's been a minute, okay? Let's just say it's been a minute since I've sung on a stage, but I may do something by myself, but also one of my besties and I already have a plan to do a duet, and we're probably gonna sing Start of Something New from High School Musical, which is like the first song in the first High School Musical movie, because we were High School Musical kids. So we're fully like, all right, let's do it. Someone had suggested that we do something from Camp Rock 2, one of those duets, and then today I was like, actually, what if we did Start of Something New? And my friend was like, yes, let's do it. I was like, yes. So we're gonna do that, and then I might do some things by myself. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little spicy, maybe. Feel free to help. That's so sweet. Thank you. I will let you know. If I need any help with it, because sometimes I look at things and if it's just words, I'm like, that's a lot of words, and brain does not comprehend words all the time. That's why I love video explanations. I love little video tutorials because I need to see the thing. I need to see the thing happen to understand the thing. Which is always, with math, I was so hit and miss depending on what teacher I had, because if I had a good teacher, I'm fine. If you can actually show me thoroughly, I'm fine, I'm good. But if you're skipping steps as you're teaching me and you're just like, this is what you do, that's not gonna work for me. Silly songs with Larry! Stop! Silly songs with Larry? So, fun fact. I actually have a favorite VeggieTales movie, and it's Celery Night Fever. And besides that one just being an entire bop, like every song goes so hard in that one, the silly songs with Larry in that one too was so good. And it was the one, oh my gosh, it was about adopting a dog. I swear I was talking about this like last time I was home for some reason, and it was like home at my parents' house, and my sibling wasn't there, and so I was literally just by myself trying to remember this, and I was like, and my parents had no clue what I was talking about because they like didn't really watch this one, and so I was like, oh, and I had to look it up and find it and then play the song for them. But I loved silly songs with Larry. Also, Pizza Angel. My sibling and I would literally sing that one and dance to it. I don't even remember which one that was part of. We would rent the DVD, and we would like rewind at the end, and just like go to scene selection or whatever, bonus content, I don't know where it was. And we would just play Pizza Angel a whole bunch of times extra, because we were like, I don't know, we just really liked that one. And then also the one where he's like, don't give me a sippy cup. That one too. Those are the three that I really remember. Guys, listen, I swear I do know. I just named 3 silly songs with Larry, and I actually don't know Where Is My Hairbrush or Do the Mushu. That's crazy. But yeah, Celery Night Fever was my favorite VeggieTales thing. And when I say favorite, when I was younger, like low-key, was like one of my favorite movies. I have this very distinct memory of the first time that I watched it. And a lot of what I've watched, like literally my entire life, has been my sibling finding something and being like, hey, let's watch this thing together now. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And it was the same thing with Saturday Night Fever. They watched it and then they're like, hey, this movie slaps, let's watch it. And I was like, yes! But what happened, it was literally like midterm season at school and there was a water main break. And we got to go home early, which was crazy because we were like in the middle of taking tests and it was like, well, if you didn't finish, you like just got it like a different essay prompt or something. It's like most people, it was like towards the end, and so it was people mainly just had like essays left to do. And they were like, all right, well, if you didn't finish your essay, you'll just get a new essay prompt and we'll do it again, which was crazy. We went home, our mom came and picked us up. We stopped at the supermarket, we bought Little Bites, and then we had lunch and our Little Bites, and we watched Saturday Night Fever, and that is my strongest memory of VeggieTales. Everybody has a water buffalo! Yes! Okay, that one I recognize. That one I recognize. See, I'm literally do not remember the Mushu one. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Later, because I might know it, because I feel like I saw the, oh, maybe not the majority of VeggieTales things, but I did watch a lot of them. I had a full-on VeggieTales phase. I was like absolutely devouring the VeggieTales content. I think I like specifically sought out like the first one that they ever made or something, and I was like, haha. And then I think Netflix at some point made like a TV show out of it. And I think just out of like pure curiosity, one night I was like, let me check this out. And I got through like 3 minutes and then turned it off because it was not my VeggieTales. Dance with the Cucumber sounds familiar. Like that one is like vaguely ringing a bell. I feel like I'm thinking of one where it was like a Silly Songs with Larry segment, except it wasn't with Larry, and there was some other character that they had do the song instead. And I swear he was singing, like probably not McDonald's since that's an actual brand name, but like he was essentially singing about like fast food, and that's like all I remember. And I'm like, did I make that up? Did I dream that? Probably not. That feels like it would be a random dream. But I don't know if that actually happened or not, because why would we not have the, King of Silly Songs, Larry, just do one himself? I also went to Catholic school, or Christian school. I was, in fact, also. I, in fact, also did experience that, but like, my school low-key sucked because we didn't even watch that many movies. And most of the time when they chose a movie, we'd have like a library period, like we would have like different, they called them specials, and so like once every day you'd have a period that switched and it would be like music or art or library, and you'd go and you'd pick your book and you'd check it out, and then you would sit and watch like the first 20 minutes of a movie. And a lot of the times the first 20 minutes of the movie were VeggieTales, but that means we didn't get to Silly Song with Larry. Larry canonically avoided the RS. Honestly, king. Good for him. I actually don't remember that, but it sounds real. I'm gonna take your word for it. Like, low-key it was. Like, specials were kind of the best part of the day, except for gym. I never liked gym. Gym was not fun. Not to get all sad thinking about my childhood years, but I was that kid that got picked last. It was not fun. It was me. I think I wrote a poem about this once, but it was me and this, like, one other girl. that like always got picked last from the girls, and then this one guy, and don't even get me started on this guy because I knew him for years and now we have beef, but it was like always the three of us that got picked last. Not in high school. In high school, the teacher would usually just assign us teams, and I was like, thank you. But yeah, gym class, that one I did not like. Music was better when I was in... Is it giving me credits? What's happening right now? Oh, because did I finally do all of the different courses on this account? Can I skip this? Okay, we're watching credits. I'll talk over the credits. Yeah, but music was better in the lower grades because it's like first, second, third, and fourth? Or did it switch in fourth? Well, you really just sang songs and they gave you little maracas, and then after that, they were like, actually now you're gonna be learning about like Bach and Beethoven, and you're gonna have to write full like 3-page essays on these guys. And I was like, why though? Do we really need to? They were culturing us, I guess. But it's like, why are we only learning about classical music every year? Can I learn about like more modern areas of music too? Like that would be nice. That'd be kind of nice. Art class was fine because they just graded us on effort. So like that was fine. So wait, it was art, gym, music, library, and then Spanish, I think. I think we only had our other language other than English once a week, and I'm pretty it was like Spanish was the only option. Which was a whole mess because the teacher that I had for like my first several years at this school taught the same things every year, and then they had a better teacher, and then they brought the old teacher back. It was, I don't know, it was weird. It was an odd class in terms of we literally learned like the seasons and the calendar every year. And the teacher was like native Spanish speaker, so it was like, I don't know why. And like, she had us every year, so she knew what we'd learned up to that point, so it was weird that it was always like colors and then calendars and days of the week, you know? I was like, can I learn something different? And then we switched, we had that other teacher for a bit who actually taught, she also taught math, and then she was trying to teach us the grammar for it also, and I liked that. I really do want to learn, like I'm learning Japanese now. I unfortunately don't have as much time as I did when I first started doing it. I think it's so cool when people can speak like multiple languages. I love that. Like that is so cool to me. You only had one cool moment in gym class, but you were also last picked. Last picked kids in gym, rise. Like, we're thriving now. All the kids that were picked last in gym are VTubers now. Conspiracy theory. And you know what? I love that for us. Okay, French is cool. I've never had the opportunity to learn French because the high school that I went to used to offer it. And then once I got there, they didn't. And so I took 3 years of Italian, and I had the same teacher for 2 years. And I loved that guy. That guy was great. He had such grandpa energy. And then he retired, which, like, good for him, because he tried to retire several times, and the school was like, no, we need you, don't quit, don't retire. This poor man, he just wanted to go and spend time with his actual grandchildren. I was, like, literally, like, one of his favorite students ever, because I actually paid attention in the class. And I was in the honors program at my high school, and most honors kids were taking a different language, but I was like, can I take Italian? And they were like, yeah, okay, sure. And so I did, and I really liked that class. And then the third year of taking that class, we had to take a language other than English for 3 years. He retired, and I had a different teacher, and she just kind of gave up on teaching us because no one was paying attention except for like me and a couple other people, and she didn't know what we'd learned or not to that point. So, but I've known people who were in the grades below me, and they were like, oh yeah, no, she's a fine teacher. And I'm like, well, she just doesn't care about us because it's our last year taking this class. Yes, literally, all the repetition. You had this created. See, I at least had a little bit in the middle where it was different and I was learning something about the language other than just like vocab. But yeah. No, and Italian was really cool. Italian was super, super cool. I loved learning it. And again, that first teacher that I had was really, really good. Like, people said that they had trouble learning with him. And not that there's shade to any of these people. But the people that were like, oh yeah, he's so hard to learn from, were also talking, and we were like, we had devices and stuff, like iPads and stuff, and computers, and like, I can see what y'all are doing, and it's not taking notes. Like, you can't learn from this guy because you're not paying attention. I paid attention, and I understood him just fine. Okay, his accent was a little thick, but like, I got used to it. So I'm like, I don't know, guys. It just sounds like a skill issue, to be honest. No, literally. And he, right off the bat, this teacher, was like, okay, this is, you know, this tense, this is that tense, this is when you use them. He used the textbook, but he didn't just, like, directly teach from it. He made sure to give his own examples. He made sure, you know, be a bit thorough with it. And I felt like had I had him that third year, I probably could have, you know, been more proficient, but I kind of just lost everything at that point, which is kind of sad, because I would like to, if I kept it, but. I actually haven't heard of Lingo, dear. Duolingo I use, though. I think Duolingo yelled at me a few minutes ago for not doing it yet today. But I do Japanese on Duolingo every day. I want to say a 640 something day streak, because, okay, granted I have used a streak freeze a couple of times, because, like, probably more than a couple, probably, you know, less than a dozen, but more than a couple. Just because there are some days where I'm too busy, I can't squeeze it in. But it's rare, and a lot of the times, though, I just, like, have that mentality of gotta keep my streak, and obviously it'll help somewhat, where I just go and I learn the characters. But I really want more time to devote to it, because when I first started doing it, I was sitting down, I was having, like, 30, 45 minutes to do it, and now I have, like, maybe 10 or 15. And I know they say even just 10, 15 minutes a day are good, but sometimes I only have 5. There are some weeks where I consistently only have, like, 5 minutes to practice a day, and it makes me sad, because it's, like, I want to do it, and I have so much that I want to do, and it makes me so sad sometimes that I'm like, I don't have time. Drawing, writing, learning a language. It's like, where do people get the hours in the day to do, like, all these things, and then also, but okay, at the end of the day, if I have free time, I'm probably gonna, you know, log on to Genshin Impact or something. You know? And instead, which is like, I don't know, it's like a push and a pull, where it's like, oh, well, this is the thing that's gonna make me feel comfy at the end of the day, but also there's a bunch of other things I want to do. Hello, AA Ron. Welcome to stream. How are you today? Did I win? Oh, I've won a few times. You also lost your Duolingo streak? No, there are some times where I'm like, it's like 11:40 p.m. and I'm like, oh, Duolingo, I haven't done it. And then I log on, I'm like, oh, okay, we're good, we're fine, we're good, it's fine, we're good. But my heart sometimes, like, drops, or sometimes I think I don't have again, I've used streak freezes before, and sometimes I thought I've lost it, and a streak freeze was used, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm friends with, like, one of my IRL friends on there, and one time she literally messaged me and was like, did you lose your Duolingo streak? And I was like, no, I don't think so, and I didn't. I think I just hadn't done it yet that day, and it was, like, late. But she even freaked out for me. Pollen? Actually, wait. What is pollen? I don't know what that is. Or Poland? Oh no. You like lingo, dear? I just do lifetime lingo. I just feel like, interesting. Okay. See, this is another thing I like about streaming is I'm learning about so many different things. Like in these past 3 weeks, I've gotten like a lesson on the history of YouTube. I've learned about vines that I didn't know about. I learned about Vroid today. I'm learning about lingo, dear. So, definitely, I'm becoming cultured, in fact. Actually, I'm becoming cultured. What are vines? Stop! That's so funny. That's so funny. Guys, listen. I am so not in the know with any pop culture stuff. Like, I never have been. And I said on stream, I was like, oh, I know, like, the popular vines at least. I knew, like, 1 or 2 that stream asked me. And, like, 1 or 2 that chat. I'm actually not on TikTok. That's a statement of fact. Guys, I'm inept when it comes to social media, to be so for real with you. I'm, like, inept when it comes to social media. Growing up, was not allowed to have social media. And my silly, goofy little self said, well, I'm gonna make a secret account. And I made a Tumblr. That tells you everything you need to know about me, okay? This bee doesn't have TikTok. Bet they don't even have TikTok. That one Shrek meme, like that. Alright, I'm gonna make that meme after stream. I don't. And I might make one, not for personal use, but for streaming, because my sibling was like, oh, make a TikTok. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then they're like, I'll be your social media manager. And I was like, bruv, you're busy. Don't do that to yourself. Also, again, don't watch me stream. Yeah, I was a Tumblr kid. Not even would be. I was. Guys, I was rather successful on Tumblr, in fact. No. I did have, I think, back in my heyday, I had like 2,000 followers because I was a fan fiction writer. And again, that tells you everything you need to know about me. I think I honestly only stopped using Tumblr recently. I had like a whole alias change for a while too, and then I eventually just, like, I changed fandom so many times and I didn't have the same community that I used to have on there, and I wasn't really finding, there wasn't really like any, there wasn't much community for VTubers on there, so I kind of just drifted off of there and ended up on Twitter instead, so, yeah. Hi, Frumpy the Goblin, welcome. Yes, fanfic writer, guys, fanfic writer. No, Shy Guy's so good. I actually have a Shy Guy plush. Not here. He's at my parents' house, and I named him Steve. The Shy Guy. Yeah. Maybe. Hey, I'm actually gonna be home next week. I'll post a picture if I remember of Steve the Shy Guy. He sits on my bookcase, and there's like this little paper hat from, I literally don't even remember what, that like I made and colored, and it usually sits on his head. And so I will send a picture of Steve the Shy Guy. I'm gonna remember to do that. Social medias can't track you if you don't own it. That's literally what my parents were like. Guys, I'm so sorry if I end up telling the same 5 stories on stream. I don't tell the same 5 stories. There's like the same 10 stories, but it always comes up the same things, I swear. So maybe I gotta diversify what I talk about. But my sister had a secret Twitter account that my mom found out about. And so I was always paranoid that they were gonna find my Tumblr account. But the thing is, my sister had a Twitter account in her name. I had fully had like an entire alias on Tumblr, and I was a little sneaky little boy, and I put, I didn't put the app on my phone, I just went to the website. How are they gonna find me? But I was too scared to like make anything like actually in my name, because I fully knew that my parents could find out, because they did find out with my sister. So I was like, okay, I was like, Tumblr it is, I'm just gonna be a fanfic writer. And then I was. And then I had, like I said, in my heyday, like over 2K followers. Which was insane. And honestly, I do attribute a lot of that to having been reading fics for a bit and sending like anonymous asks. And then once I made an account, there were a couple of more popular authors who were like ready to promote me and my work. Guys, life is literally all networking. I didn't believe it when my father told me that. And he's kind of right though. He's kind of right. No, literally, I think I have a total of one friend who's never read a fanfic. Which is crazy. Also, she's like, I'm not gonna touch fanfic, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna trick you into reading one. She's in the Genshin fandom. How is she not gonna read fanfiction? How is she not gonna read fanfiction? Which is crazy. I'm gonna get her into fanfiction one day. Mark my words. Mark my words. No, literally me, because I should literally turn off the notifications for Tumblr because like I said, I recently stopped using it, and I say recently, and it's probably been months now. It's been months. 5 months, 4 or 5 months. I fully just stopped using Tumblr, but I still get the notifications, and I see people reading my stuff, and it's stuff that I posted before I changed my username and my alias on there. And I literally like made like an account to archive stuff, and then at that point was just also very slowly not into it anymore. And so I never finished archiving stuff, and I still get notifications that people are reading things, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's from like years and years ago. How are you finding this? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't want to go back and read any of this stuff because I'm gonna cringe so hard. I'm not even into this character anymore. I'm not even into the character or the fandom anymore. Yeah. You're all okay. Flex. If you're in the Genshin fandom and haven't read fanfic, because I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just projecting, because I love Genshin and I love reading Genshin fanfic. So, but that might just be me, because I love reading fanfic in general. But yeah, but it's like, there's so many characters. How is there none that you want to read fanfiction for? Genshin fanfic is crazy sometimes. Fanfic in general, as a concept, is wild. Go on AO3 and read the tags sometimes, and I'm just like, huh? You, what? I'm like, what does that mean? What does that even mean? I actually do enjoy Farina. I feel a little called out that you recognize that. She's by no means my favorite character, but I am in fact a Farina enjoyer. No spoilers, because I still have not done her story quest. I've not gotten a chance to do her story quest. I'm caught up on the Archon quest. I'm gonna say in general, don't do spoilers, for sure. Especially like other people in the chat may not have gone throughout all of the Genshin quests yet. But I've also not done all of it yet. Me when I'm about to have to expose myself with my favorite Genshin character. Okay, you haven't done the story and Archon stuff either. Okay, alright. So yeah, no spoilers, guys. Actually, I literally need to familiarize myself with Twitch more, because I'm pretty sure there's a way to put rules in Twitch. I have rules on my YouTube, but I don't know how to do it in Twitch, so I'm gonna figure out how to do rules, so like people who come in know, like, not to do spoilers and stuff. My favorite character. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this in 3 different categories, okay? I'm gonna answer this in 3 different categories. The first category is who is my son? Who's my favorite in terms of who my son is? And that's Chongyun. Chongyun is precious to me. I think he's a baby and I love him, and that is my son. This is where I start exposing myself. My favorite character in terms of like who I'm in love with is Dottore. I love me a good evil fictional man. I love me a good evil hot fictional man. And so I don't know what it is about him, guys. He just slowly invaded my brain, and now I think about him so much, and he hasn't appeared in game in like a year, and I'm starving for Dottore content. He's so evil. He's so unapologetically evil, and I support him in that, since it's fiction. Child. Okay, Child was my favorite for the longest time since I started playing the game in 2021, I guess, until I met Dottore. And probably a little bit after I met Dottore, just because I feel like loyalty to my favorite character sometimes, and I don't want to change it. Tartaglia was my number one. That was who I was in love with. And then it changed to Dottore. And his tummy is showing, which is a plus. You forgot who Dottore was? No! No, not my special man. Not my special man. Not my special man. I love him. Your favorite character so far is Navia. She is so good. She's hot. She's girl boss. And... Oh, are you telling me you didn't know who Tartaglia / Child / Ajax was? Mans has too many names. Mans has too many names. That's all I'm gonna say. But I do love him. And then I haven't gotten to the third category, but I'm gonna catch up on messages. So from B, no knowledge of Genshin Impact. If you like games with lots of lore, especially like hidden deep lore, because there's a lot of things that you could just read and get lore that isn't stated explicitly in game, I'd say yes. I also like that it's open world, because turn-based fighting isn't my favorite thing in the world. So I like the open world aspect of it too, in terms of even the fighting. So if you like that stuff, I recommend Genshin Impact 100%. My fave, 100%. What got me into gaming. I grew up on Nintendo, but Genshin Impact is really what sealed the deal for me. So yeah, YouTube Cadence, if you like that kind of stuff, I 100% would recommend it. Lots of people stream it too, so if you want to just watch a bit of it, I would say maybe don't watch someone who's streaming the story if you care about spoilers, but if someone's like exploring or something, then you get an idea for it, or just like watch a trailer, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're too used to the Doctor. Dottore and the Doctor is basically the same thing. That's crazy. This is basically, he's Il Dottore the Doctor. Like, that's what a name. What a name for the man. All the Harbingers have too many names, literally. And now it's time for the full reveal of the third category, and this is the most important category because this is my favorite. I'm not in love with him. He's not my son. He is me. He is me. And that's Scaramouche / Wanderer / Balladeer / Kunikazushi / Kabukimono. Talk about having too many names. I named him Aiko. That's what I named him. But he's my favorite. I literally at one point could quote like his little thing where it was like, the first to betray me was a god, my creator, my mother, and I would do like I would do the voice acting for it too. And I would just go to my friends, they'd say, or my sibling, and they would say something that reminded me of it, and I'd be like, the first to betray me. They would like look at me like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, guys, I'm sane, I promise, just mainly. Yeah, so I very much like him, and I don't know, it's guys, I don't know if you've seen anything about how he's like kind of a trans allegory. Love that for him. I like use all the pronouns, so for me, I'm like, let's go. And then also, he has mommy issues, I have mommy issues, we're twinning. I love it when I say that, because sometimes it's so out of pocket for like what the conversation is, and people aren't expecting it, and then they laugh, and I'm like, yes, I'm funny, tell me I'm funny. Oh my gosh, no, for sure though. Okay, see, that's what I do with Star Rail, is I will play Genshin Impact, and I have the auto battle feature on in the background. So I solidarity in that one, that is a good thing that I can just like log on and have it go. Sometimes my mom would come in to talk to me while I was playing, if I was playing at my parents' house, and she would be like, oh, am I interrupting you? And I'd be like, oh no, it's on auto battle. And she's like, auto battle? I'm like, yeah, just trust me on it, mom, just trust me on it. Grumbless, stop. Listen, I gave him, because he was my favorite. I loved him even in his Scaramouche Balladeer days. I was like, I gotta give him a name that is like meaningful, and someone else came up with Aiko, and I'm like, I'm gonna snatch that one. So I was like looking at people's names, and it means like it means I think loved one or something like that, or like loved something to that effect. And so I was like, yes, because I love him, because I love him. But Grumbless honestly is real. Honestly is real. I think Loki, my friend, named him like after a celebrity or something, like a pun celebrity name, something like that. See, my same friend that I was just talking about with the naming of Scaramouche, of Wanderer, Baiju is in her main party. So I actually don't have him. I don't whale. Usually. I usually don't whale in Genshin. Because I don't have the money to whale. And I'm pretty selective then with the banners that I use. So, or that I pull on. So, I actually don't have Baiju. I would get him, but I didn't really like. Actually, I do kind of need another healer, to be honest. So I might try to get him when he rolls around again. Because I do like his playstyle a lot too. I actually used to hate Catalyst as a weapon, and now it's like my favorite weapon, which is weird. So, yeah. Lynette, the thing is, once Fontaine came out, I do want most of the characters. I actually have like enough Primo Gems. I've been able to get like all the ones that I want so far. But I haven't built some of them. So like Lynette, I want to build, because also Animo is like my favorite element. I love Animo, and I have Lynette, and I haven't built her yet. So that's on my to-do list. They are both doctors. The names are like low-key similar. Oh my gosh, Nouvellette though is, guys, I'm so conflicted, because I need to kind of change up my main party right now, because I have Scaramouche and Nouvellette. I still always call him Scaramouche. Like who's gonna say Wanderer? He's Scaramouche to me. I have both Scaramouche and Nouvellette on my team, and they both kind of fill the same position. And Nouvellette's low-key built better and is low-key stronger. But I just love Scaramouche so much that I don't want to take him out. And also because when I'm exploring, like he's just so good for exploration. So that's why I just leave him in, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. This is okay. So, yeah, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I need to change it. Also, I literally felt so bad because I took Tartaglia out of my team also, so I could put Nouvellette in, and I was originally just doing that to test out Nouvellette, and I was like, well, Nouvellette's actually really good, and I'm so sorry, my love Tartaglia. Not only are you no longer the character I'm in love with from this game, you're also no longer in my main party. So sorry. I do still love him though. Like, I still love him. But he's not doing too well in my game right now. The only Catalyst user who uses Kokomi. I don't have her. I want her because she's a good healer, and wait, I'm gonna say something that I'm pretty sure is correct. Yeah, Chi-Chi's my only healer. Chi-Chi's my only healer. I've never even lost the 50-50 to Jean, because I'm pretty sure she heals. Chi-Chi is my only healer, and I literally, anytime I play anything, I'm like, offense, no defense, no healing. That started changing once I got Zhongli, because that 100% is like total defense. But I was still like, no healers. And then I was doing Spiral Abyss, and I was like, well, gosh darn, I only have one like undefeatable shield. I kind of need a healer. And the only one that I had was Chi-Chi, and so I built her. And now she's still my only healer. So I have Bennett, and I don't have him built. And the thing about Bennett is that, you know how people are like, hey, don't C6 Bennett? I C6'd him before I even knew what like that meant, before I even knew what it meant to build a character. Like, I C6'd him, I think, in probably like my first like 2 or 3 months of playing the game or something, because I didn't know what I didn't even know what the 50-50 was. My friend was so lucky that she started playing after me because I told her like all of this stuff about like what the 50-50 was, what it meant to lose it, what the pity system was, about building characters that I didn't know for probably like half a year of playing the game. I got to Inazuma with like barely even leveling up my characters because I simply didn't really realize that was a thing you could do. And so I C6'd done it before I even realized that, and I was like, well, that's that, I guess. And so at that point I hadn't been like withholding my pulls on the banners. Like now I only pull if I want the character, but at that time it was like, well, let's just go, and character is pretty, hee. And I didn't understand concepts of playstyle or saving your primo gems. And now I do, but I was like, oh, too late. But my friend is actually now more into like meta builds and stuff. I'm just there for the story, to be honest. My friend's more into like the meta builds and stuff. And so we were talking a little while ago about C6 Bennett actually. And she was saying like that there's certain teams that he could be good with if you have like a mainly pyro team or something like that. And I was like, well, good to know. Maybe, because I know like supposedly like everyone pretty much plays Bennett and like builds him, and I just haven't, and I'm like, well, okay. I'm just sitting here like, oh, well, not me. But the reason that you used it out of spite, that's crazy. Honestly, okay, same friend, again, my bestie, I love her so much. She once said, and this is one of my favorite things anyone's ever said, the only reasons to do anything are spite, vengeance, and vindication. Real, honestly. We love. But the reason why, same friend, I feel like this makes so much sense. I feel like you're gonna get a good sense of who she is as a person between that quote and this, is that the reason that she likes to know how to build is that so that she can make troll builds and like troll teams. One thing that she said, and it didn't mean much to me, and then she explained it, and I was like, oh, okay. It was like, whatever the pyro artifact that is, like Crimson Flame Remembrance, I don't know, what Crimson Witch's Remembrance, whatever that one is, whatever that one's called, like to put that on Kaya, and then with a C6 Bennett. And I'm like, girly, I'm like, what are we doing? Why are you just trying to piss off other players? But that's just how she is, and she is like, constant like dad jokes, constant puns, constant sarcasm, and I love her for it. No, I love my friend too, Blitz. Shout out to my friend, shout out to my bestie. I'm fully gonna tell her that I was talking about her on stream. Oh my gosh. Which I literally need to carve out time to play Genshin with her because last time that we FaceTimed, we were like just chatting while playing Genshin, and it was so much fun. And she asked me a few weeks back to do it again, and I was like, absolutely yes. I'm just literally like booked every single minute of my day for the next like 3 weeks. And I feel so bad because I really want to. And then I'm going to be away from my PC for a bit next week. So I do have it on my iPad though. I haven't updated it for this new update, which I'm probably gonna do before I go home just in case I need to like delete anything off the iPad so that I can, you know, like update the game, because I need to do my dailies. So I could probably even though mobile is like having played on the PC, I realize now mobile's like so low res and it's harder, and I don't know if it's partly just because I'm used to PC now, because once I started playing on the PC I was like, this is so hard, and then as soon as I was like, I need to get a controller so I could play this, I was like, oh, actually I'm good, I got this. Maybe she is your lost twin, I don't know, it's always possible, you can't rule it out, like, hey, like sarcasm, spite, playing Genshin, who knows? All I'm saying, who knows? It's so funny though, because she's like not into VTubers. She fully supports me in my endeavors, but she's not into VTubers at all, and literally because of I've like infected like her social media algorithms with it, she gets recommended VTuber stuff, and she'll like text me and she'll be like, oh, do you recognize this one? And I'll be like either yes or no. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I love infecting people's social media feeds with what I like though, because I've done that with my siblings too. They get recommended Genshin Impact stuff. And it's like, you're welcome for that. You're welcome for that one. Also, I literally don't know that my sister was aware, but that like, Oratrice Mécanique d'Annelise Cardinal thing that was happening with that trend that I don't know if it's still going on or not, with the dancing. My sister literally sent that in our sibling group chat, like one of those TikToks, and I fully don't even know that she knew it was Genshin Impact. Like my sibling knew, but I don't know that my sister knew. So I was like, or maybe. I was like, maybe she knew, maybe she didn't. But I just was immediately like, I was like, let's go! Oh my gosh, but I fully have infected everyone I know with the things that I like. And I think everyone should do that. I think we should all share the things that we love, and by that I mean let's all talk about our interests together and then make everyone else listen too. No. My siblings do that with me too, more with music. I'm really into gaming. They're both more really into music. And kind of like with my sibling also a bit film, but like a lot of it is music. And a lot of what I listen to now, I will only listen to like a song or two from an artist or something, because my sibling listens to a little bit of everything. I mean, like everything. Like they can get into, like, they can go from listening to, they have a playlist, and it will go from things like jazz to electric to pop punk to bossa nova to all of the genres. You'll have like a sad ballad, and the next thing that comes on is like fully auto-tuned electric music, and it's like the whiplash is crazy. Legit, your playlist, honestly so good, because I had this period where I was like, okay, I literally am out of things that I want to listen to. Hey sibling, want to make me a playlist? And they were on it immediately. Because they love making playlists. Meanwhile, for me, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to sit down and do that. So I just had them make one for me, and they just made like essentially an abridged version of their like huge, I don't know, 24-hour long playlist. I have no clue how long it is now. I believe it's 24 hours by now. They just made me an abridged version of that with kind of the things that they think I'd like. And it is a lot of now what I have, like my top for last year, they did infect some of it. They did infect some of my music taste last year and what was my top. But they listen to a bit of everything. So a lot of songs that I like, I don't necessarily know everything from that artist, I don't necessarily like everything from that artist, but they have like one song that just goes so hard, and so it's like hard for me to say. I do have some artists that I'm like, okay, these are my favorite musical artists. Then there's some songs that they're like, oh, like this is like one of my favorite songs, but I feel like it's not like a favorite musical artist, and so I feel like that almost comes up less often. Like people more will ask like, what's your favorite band than what's your favorite song, you know? Or like, give me top 5 songs. It's like, oh, top 5 bands. And it's like, well, yeah, I have top 5 bands, but there's a lot of other things that I listen to where I really like this, like, you just wouldn't know, because I only like this one thing from that artist. Okay, pretty much same for me. I just have a lot of like albums downloaded into my library, because it's either like I like one single song and it'll go on a playlist, or I like all of your music and I'm downloading all of your albums. But I do have like a playlist that's like kind of just things I like. I have a playlist called Sad Boy Hours, which is for when I'm feeling a little moody, which I made sure to put a couple of like, they're still a little sad, but they're a little hopeful too, toward like songs at the end, just so that I'm like not totally trapping myself in the cycle of depression while I'm listening to the playlist. So I have my Sad Boy Hours playlist. I have the one that my sibling made for me. I have just like things that I like, where it's like, well, I just like this one song, but I don't like a lot of their things. And then I have for my VTubers, virtual idols, I really want to cover a song, but I'm like not gonna have the money to have someone mix it and make my voice sound tolerable, make my singing voice sound tolerable. So that's gonna be like a future endeavor. But I do have, and I don't have it written down, and I have so many songs by now that I want to cover that I'm like, I probably should start writing this down. But there are a few that like top of my list that I don't think I'm gonna forget because I listen to them all the time. But I don't even have a playlist for it. Okay, it's like low-key good though to have a Sad Boy Hours playlist, in my humble opinion, because if I'm feeling the feels but the tears aren't coming and I feel like I just need to cry, I put on the Sad Boy Hours playlist and then the tears come. And then it's like, okay, there it is. I like, you know, sometimes you need to cry. Sometimes you need to cry. There's this one short, I think it's a Disney animated short. It was just like in a collection of shorts, and it was like the Loch Ness Monster and her home is like taken over to be made into a golf course. I think that's the base premise. And essentially she, for the most part, is kind of just like, okay, chin up, not gonna cry. Just gonna keep going and figure this out. And then finally it gets to the point where she's like kind of been run out of everywhere. She hasn't been able to find a new home, and she just starts crying. And then what happens is like she cries so much that I think it turns the golf course back into like into a lake, and that's how Loch Ness happens. And like one of the last lines, if not the last line, is like sometimes through our tears we find a better way. Oh, you know that one? Okay, good, because I have mentioned this to people before and they've not heard of it. I haven't seen it in like several years now, honestly. Was it called The Ballad of the Loch Ness Monster or something like that? I don't even remember what this collection of shorts was called, but I was like obsessed with it for a little while, and I haven't watched it in a while. I haven't watched it in a hot minute. Yeah, no, it has been so long. I really want to go find this. But that is something that has stuck with me from it, is that through our tears we find a better way. And my mom saw it once, and at first she was watching it, and she was like, well, I don't like that. I don't like that it's like, you know, you should like cry and that solves all your problems. And I think because when my sibling and I were talking about it, that she kind of thought that's what it was. And then when she reached the end and they were like, okay, so sometimes through your tears you find a better way, and she understood it was more about like, don't bottle up your emotions. If you're feeling sad, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to let that out. It's okay to express your sadness, because it is a part of life, and it is healthy to express your sadness. And sometimes when you're keeping that bottled up, it's not going anywhere, and it just amplifies, it gets worse, it just rattles around. And so sometimes you do just need to let out a good cry, and then you're good, because it's not just, you're not in that like same like mental loop of sadness. The Ballad of Nessie, yeah, that one. But I haven't thought about it in a little while. But I do think the message is something that's kind of kept with me, like I said. I think also because like I had that moment with my mom where she was like, oh, like I don't like crying, you can solve all your problems. Like that's literally not what it is. It's just like let your emotions out, and she didn't realize that after like fully watching it. So yeah, that's essentially what my Sad Boy Hours playlist is for me. It's that line, sometimes through our tears we find a better way, because it's like I gotta get the tears to come somehow, and so I'm gonna listen to Vanilla Twilight by Owl City, and I'm gonna listen to a Coraline by Måneskin and a bunch of other things. Those are like the first two or something on the playlist, and those are like I'm like sobbing already. There's probably less known. I feel like those are, you know, somewhat well-known songs. I think a little bit less known, one of the ones on there is Simulation Swarm by Big Thief. Go give Big Thief a listen. Some of their songs are a bop. And Simulation Swarm, I don't think is like... Okay, no, because my sibling finds it sad too. It's not like the saddest song ever, but there's something just about it that makes me really sad. That makes me like, yeah, like I do feel sad right now, and that's okay. And it makes me cry all the time, and my siblings doesn't make them cry too. So there's something about that song that has just a sad little feel to it, and I love a good sad song. No, same, because like I was like, okay, time to make my sad boy hours playlist finally, because I thought about doing it before, and I was like, okay, what songs make me sad? And it was like, actually, these songs I haven't listened to in like 5 years. Oh my god. And so then they went on. No, not the Maneskin one. The Maneskin one, I still listen to them fairly regularly. But Owl City, like, god, I loved those songs. I loved some of those songs. I hadn't listened to them in forever. And actually, I feel like someone on a karaoke stream like sang one of them. And I was like, yeah, Owl City songs do hit kind of hard. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember other songs that I have on this playlist. I don't know if you've heard of Ethel Cain. I think she is like is known well enough. One of those songs, Ptolemea, but I only listen to that one if I'm in a real funky mood, because like that it's from a concept album. Yeah, Ethel Cain. I don't remember the artist's actual name, but it's a concept album. Oh great, look it up, because I'm not gonna do it justice if I talk about it. But there's this one song called Ptolemea, and it's like the emotional climax of the story. Yeah. Like I said, look it up, because I'm not gonna do it justice. But it has lots of like religious themes and like growing up in like a religious family. Yeah. And like cult vibes too. Yeah. But give it a listen. Give it a listen. I recommend that one too. That's on it. But I skip that one a lot actually, because if I'm in like the mood to cry, but I'm not having like a total mental break, that song will give me a total mental break sometimes, just because like the emotion in it, like the acting from like just the whole concept album, I'm like alright, I'm gonna take a step back from that one. I think god, I don't remember the band's name. I think it's called Overwhelmed by Something and Serpent, maybe, or something like that. I'm gonna look after this course, actually. Yeah. See, I think it's probably good that I don't know all the songs that are on this playlist, because if I did, that means I listen to it too often, and that means I have too many sad boy hours. But I don't, so I think we're in the clear. I think, okay, another one that I remembered that's on there, it's called Flatline, and it's the acoustic version of the song. I think the band is called Rome, and that song is actually something that I think, like, a friend had recommended to me when I was, like, in high school or something. And it was, like, my comfort song for a while. It was, like, a song that I would turn to when I needed to cry, and I didn't listen to it for, like, years. I stopped listening to it. And I was putting together this playlist, and I think even after the fact of me putting together this playlist, I was like, oh, actually, that song too makes me cry, and I'm gonna put it on here. Preacher's Daughter, yes, that's what it's called. That is the album. That's Ethel Cain's album. Yeah. I actually don't know that she has any other albums besides that one. I'm not like an Ethel Cain stan or anything. My sibling likes her more, going back to the fact that they have infected a lot of my music taste. Okay, there's like if you do end up listening to Ptolemea, be warned that like she fully screams like in the middle of it. And the first time I heard this song, my sibling was like driving us like on the highway. It wasn't the first time they heard the song, it was the first time I heard the song, and they play their music loud in the car. They've gotten better about it. They don't play it as loud now, but they play it loud in the car. And I was just sitting there in full volume, just a scream. I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's a crazy thing. How are you driving and listening to this? But they did. They did. Yeah, and there's another one from that album called... Me and I don't remember what the name of the song is called. Hold on. Oh, perf. I ended this cup. So let me take a little look-see. Because there is one song that my sibling is like, Oh, this is like driving on the highway vibes, and they're so right. American Teenager. I think it's American Teenager. And that song is on their like really multi-hour playlist, really long multi-hour playlist. And sometimes what they do is like, they're like, okay, I'm gonna skip it if it doesn't fit the vibe. And sometimes the vibe is just whatever's in their head. But we'll be like driving and they'll be like, I need a highway song. Give me American Teenager. And they're just skipping through like all their songs until they get to like the one that they really want. Honestly, not as bad to me, I think, as just someone screaming in the middle of the song while you're driving. You know? That's not as bad, I think, lo-fi. Lo-fi's nice and chill. It's nice and chill. One time, my mom got in the car. Well, I was in the car with her, and it was like early in the morning, and she'd still like had the sleep music like queued up on her phone, and like connected to the Bluetooth, and then it was just playing the sleep music while she was driving, and we low-key didn't notice for a minute, and we were like, oh hey, what's up? Maybe let's turn that one off. See, that's why I started telling that about my mom with the sleep music in the car, because I was like, well, yeah, I guess they're probably afraid you're gonna fall asleep, but like to me, at least I'd be able to tell if I was gonna fall asleep. If I was like driving and then like there was a scream in the middle of the song, I think that's gonna make me like maybe like swerve or something. I'd be like, oh, you know, which would not be good. But like honestly fair and valid. But also they were in the car with you. You weren't by yourself, so it's fine. Okay, some other highlights from this list. Mad World, which is, there's so many covers of this song. I think Tears for Fears is the original, made the original Mad World. But I have the one by Palais Royale. Also, Tombi by Kvibaba, which was the theme song for Trigun Stampede. Slaps. Makes me very sad, makes me cry. And then, last shout out I'm gonna give on this from this playlist. No, two more shout outs from this playlist. Per X, which is, King Gnu, one of my favorite bands. This was in the anime Banana Fish, which is a really sad one, and if you're into BL, okay, Banana Fish isn't technically BL, but like it's basically BL, so if you're into BL and you haven't seen Banana Fish, 100% recommend that one. And Prayer X by King Gnu, one of my favorite bands, very sad song to me. The raw human emotion in it gets me every time, and then the lyrics too. It's in Japanese, but if you don't speak Japanese, you look up the lyrics. Sadness that hits. And then last thing I'm gonna shout out on here is Haunted by Laura Less. Laura Less is actually part of the duo 100 gecs. They have very like electronic-y kind of auto-tune sort of music, but I really like them. I saw them in concert once, and I really like their music. They're also one of my favorite bands, but Laura Less is part of that duo, and Haunted is a really good song. It's honestly too short, and the story is cool behind it because she just played it spontaneously at a concert, essentially just made it at the concert, and her fans were like, actually, we need this to be able to stream, and so she like recorded it. Anyway, I'm gonna start wrapping up now, actually, because I have a few things I need to take care of tonight still before I go to bed, and I, in fact, need to go to bed at a decent hour because I was up until like 2:30 a.m. last night because my roommates and I just started talking for like hours, and we didn't realize it got that late, so I gotta actually start getting things on track, and I had something I had to do earlier today that I forgot about, and yeah, I gotta be a little productive at some point. Yes, give them a listen, thank you, because I love spreading my agenda of all the things that I like, so yeah, give them a listen. If you don't like them, fine, because, you know, music, different things are going to appeal to different people. I totally understand that, totally recognize that, but those are some of my favorites, and if you ever decide you do want to cry a song, maybe that's something to turn to. And if they don't make you cry, they're still bops. It was a pleasure meeting you too, Blitz. I hope you come and hang out some other time. If you don't, no worries, and I hope you have an awesome evening. You too, Cadence. It was so nice meeting you. Oh my gosh, you're looking forward to next time. You're welcome, guys. Bye, AA Ron. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'll definitely be streaming on Twitch regularly now too. I'm there. I'm on my YouTube if you want to give me a follow there. I've also got my Twitter and YouTube both linked on my Twitch page. Twitch and Twitter linked on my YouTube page. Everything's linked on my Twitter page. I get around. You'll find me. I've got all my links. Yeah, but I thank you guys because I was nervous to stream on Twitch. You made it an awesome time. Thank you everyone who stopped by on either platform. And again, I have my Twitter, and I like to have silly, goofy, fun times over there, and I love meeting new people over there. Just I loved meeting all of you tonight. And with that, I do wish everyone a good morning, afternoon, evening for wherever you are. I hope to see you again soon, and I can't wait to be with you again. Bye-bye! Have a good night, everyone! Bye!